Welcome to Coors Field, filling up again. Over 2 million in attendance this year after today's game. This is game 4 of the weekend series between the Dodgers of Los Angeles and the Rockies of Colorado. Well, we'll see what happens here today. It should be interesting with the Rockies back at 500, 39-39, but the Rockies have been tough here at Coors Field, where they've won 12 of 17 and 21 of the last 28. The Rockies still 11 over 500. Umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Jerry Lane, Paul Runge, the crew chief at first, Joe West is at second, and Jeff Kellogg, who got into the controversial debate with Lance Painter and Don Baylor, is at third base. Let's take a look at the Dodgers lineup, brought to you by the Rocky Mountain News. And leading off with the second consecutive game will be Chad Fonville, but he's moved positions from second to left. Delino DeShields back in the lineup. He is the second baseman for the Dodgers. And then here come the power portion of the Dodgers lineup, led by Mike Piazza. Eric Karros, he had a home run again here last night. Arul Mondesi, they've held him in check pretty well, just one single in 12 at bats. Mike Blowers has been pretty tough, though. He has a 4 for 10 series. Todd Hollandsworth 4 for 12. And Greg Gagne has been tough in the number 8 spot. He's 5 for 10. Nomo's on the mound. He bats 9th. Hoover pitcher for the Rockies, Dave, is Mark Thompson.
See his numbers on the season. He pitched once against the Dodgers and pitched a very good game, going 8 2/3 innings as the Rockies got a win at Dodger Stadium. Mark is looking for his first win since May 19th. That was here against the St. Louis Cardinals, a complete game effort where the Rockies won 10-3.
Of course, he was tough at Dodger Stadium, beating Pedro Estacio, and just one strike of a complete game, winning that game 4-1. The defense then behind Mark Thompson, brought to you by Coca-Cola. The only change behind the plate with Owens catching, Burks, McCracken, Bichette in the outfield, Castillo, Weiss, Young, and Galarraga around the infield. And the Rockies, after having errors in 9 straight games, have gone 2 straight without a miscue. So that's good news after that defensive clinic by Don Baylor and the coaching staff. The Rockies have fortified their defense. What's the key for Thompson?
Keeping the elbow above parallel. And I kidded Mark before the game. I said, "You write it on your hat?" And he said, "No." I said, "Maybe you ought to." That's what Frank Funk says. When he drops his arm below the parallel level, that's when he starts shooting the ball up and away to left-handed batters and up and into right-handers. That's when he has problems.
Pretty good start against the Mets at Shea. You saw the numbers from that. Little looper out into left, first pitch, and a base hit for Chad Fonville.
You know, Chad, you figured maybe he's going to take a strike, and Mark threw a go-ahead strike, and Fonville just looped it into left field. So not a real good start, but I think if Thompson can throw strikes and keep the ball in the ballpark for the most part, he's got a chance to win today.
Fonville last night was 3 for 6 with 2 runs batted in and 2 RBIs. Here's Delino DeShields. 81 degrees here at Coors Field today. There's a fastball for a strike.
Jerry Lane is a pitcher's umpire. He's got a big zone. Should help both pitchers today.
Joey Amalfitano, the third base coach, flashing the signs. Fonville, so far this year, Fonville has stolen 5 bases. He's been caught twice. Sun shining brightly here today in the finale of this 4-game series. The Rockies, Dave, really feel like this is not a must game, but a crucial game as far as their season is concerned, because they won the first 2 going away, and Don Baylor doesn't want this series to get away. He wants to put the finishing touch on it today.
Well, I agree. I mean, they're going on the road for 7 before the All-Star break to 3Com Park and Dodger Stadium. You want to go out above 500, and they can close to within a half of the Dodgers, regardless of what the Padres do today. I mean, I don't know up until September 1st that there's any one critical game. Don Baylor has said, and we've talked about, the key to a pennant is being in contention in September, and asked how far is out by September 1st. He said if you're more than 5 out, that's too many. But he doesn't want to be 5 out either going to September. But you know, you go through peaks and valleys, but this is a type of game that gives you a good feeling going back out on the road where you've struggled, if you can get a win today.
Absolutely. Rockies have played well on getaway day, both at home and on the road. There goes the runner. The pitch out was just too high. Young thought he had Fonville at second anyway. It was a tough play for Owens despite it being a pitch out.
Yeah, Mark Thompson delivered the ball where Jayhawk had to jump to catch it, and that threw off the timing. You see Owens coming out, moving up on the pitch out, and then he has to leave his feet. He still makes a good throw under the circumstances, but just that little bit allowed Fonville to steal it.
So Fonville steals second, and the count 2-2 now on to Shields. Just missed upstairs, 3-2. Popped up. Foul territory, though. It'll find the seats. And we'll do 3-2 all over again.
Good news for Mark Thompson is he's got pretty good velocity. Location has not been all that special early up. And with these next three hitters coming after to Shields, up is not good.
Every pitcher, Dave, regardless of whether he's a starter or a guy coming out of the bullpen, they all have to make adjustments from start to start, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
This one hit foul down the line. And that's probably the key to all sports, is who makes the adjustments the quickest and who makes them the best.
I mean, there's absolutely no substitute for great talent, but you know, everybody has ways of neutralizing your talent. I mean, a guy like Piazza, who is just devastating. I mean, the scouting reports show that if you can throw fastballs at tail in on his hands and good breaking balls down and away consistently, you can get him out. But Mike Piazza, when you make a mistake on him, the great hitters don't miss many of the mistakes.
He didn't miss many last night. Hit one. The one he might have missed was one he hit to the wall in center field in his first at bat.
Yeah, he hit 4 balls last night over 1,600 feet.
And the 3-2 pitch that hits the Shields. So did it hit the bat?
Hit the bat.
It hit the bat. So it'll be 3-2 all over again. Got the hand that was holding the bat, so that's not a hit batsman.
Russell's going to come out and argue the play, but I think Jerry Lane's saying it hit the bat and the hand, and if that's the case, if it hits simultaneously, it is a foul ball.
Right. If it hits just the hand, not the bat, that's a very tough determination for the umpire. See right here, if it hits the handle and the hand, and I'm not sure it does, looking at it in slow motion like that. So the Rockies might have caught a little bit of a break here. Again, the 3-2 pitch, and he walks it. So the table has been set for Mr. Piazza. Runners at first and second, nobody out in the first. See, and you picked up the paper today and saw the Stars from yesterday. Piazza led the way. Finley led the way for the Padres as they came back from a 6-0 deficit to beat the Giants 7-6. And they try to pound Piazza inside, and it's just off the plate.
Well, Mark's not missing by much, but he's missing, and he had the Shields 1-2 and walked him. And he really had Fonville, but too high on the pitch out, so very close, but no cigar in the early going for the Rockies.
Fouled straight back, and a ball and a strike. Piazza amazingly has 5 career grand slams. What he has against the Rockies, I don't know, but 3 of the grand slams have come against Colorado, including one last night.
He's good, but I can guarantee you he can't hit a grand slam in this at bat.
You're right. You're just too on. This one hit into right field. Bichette coming on. He's got it. Fonville fakes the tag at second. Look at that throw. Wow. Bichette put it right on the money. Kind of wished Fonville had been tagging and running.
Also, I've noticed of late, all of a sudden Dante is starting to throw the ball better. First couple of months of the season, he gets a good jump. You can see him at the top of the screen. Fonville comes back and reads it, but Chad, I don't think you really want to run here. Weiss was going towards second, so Vinny had to get it, but Thompson was backing up. So hard hit ball, but fortunately for the Rockies, at somebody.
That'll bring up Eric Karros. He has a couple of solo home runs. He also has hit into a couple of double plays. He's 5 for 13 in the series. Carroll's with 32 home runs last year, Dave, which set a new career high for him. Even though his average is at just 245, as you see, he's on pace to match last year's home run total.
Yeah, and he's done it with an assortment of injuries this year. I mean, Eric's had a hamstring, a shoulder, and a rib problem ever since early spring. So his numbers, considering all that, not all that bad.
Just inside, a ball and a strike. So
yeah, just going to say, his first couple of years, he won Rookie of the Year, but didn't have huge numbers. But last year, he and Piazza got together and they conversed about hitting. And Piazza said, you know what, you're going to get 12 strikes a game. You're a better hitter than that. You can do more with it than what you've done. And when Eric put that in perspective, yeah, if I bat 4 times, I get at least 12 strikes to hit at. I should be able to hit the ball hard at least 3 times a game.
Ball and 2 strikes.
Well, again, Thompson's got the good stuff. It's just going to be a matter of locating. I mean, Mark Thompson is capable. We saw that in Los Angeles against this predominantly right-handed power part of the lineup. I mean, the middle 4 guys are all right-handed.
Ooh, that one just missed. Could have easily been strike 3. Or was it? It was. All right. It was a late call from home plate umpire Jerry Lane, but it was the correct call.
Well, Jerry Lane has a unique call. He yelled strike right away. Boy, low and in right on the edge, but he took a while to let us know. He let Karros know. Eric started walking.
So 2 gone, and that'll bring up Raul Mondesi.
2/3 down, but Mondesi has had great numbers against Mark Thompson. A couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, 3 for 9.
2/3 of the way through your AutoZone keys to the game.
Yeah, well, it didn't take a real rocket scientist to figure that out. All you got to do is look at the games the Rockies and Dodgers have played over the first 3.5 years, and almost without exception, the games the Dodgers win, the big 3 in the middle dominate.
High pop up. This should be the inning. Burks coming in, staring up into the sun. He makes the catch, and that'll do it. Hey, Thompson got through. Piazza, Karros, and Mondesi. No pepperoni here. Mark Thompson pitches effectively out of a jam, and the Dodgers first. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup, brought to you by the Rocky Mountain News. And leading off for Colorado, pretty much the same lineup. The only change for Don Baylor has been in the catcher spot. EY leads off. He has 9 hits in the series. Walt Weiss has 4 hits and 3 walks. Ellis Burks has been hot. So has Bichette. Well, when you score 13, 13, and 10, I guess a lot of guys are hot, including Galarrago had the big night in the opener. Vinny Casti had another home run last night. Jayhawk Owens behind the plate. Quentin McCracken back in center field for the 5th straight start. And Mark Thompson is on the mound batting 9. The Hoover pitcher for the Dodgers is last year's Rookie of the Year, Hideo Nomo.
Also the starter in last year's All-Star game. He is second in the National League in strikeouts, tied with Darryl Kyle with 115. Over the course of his 2-year career, though, his ERA at Dodger Stadium is nearly 2 full runs lower than it is on the road. 1.91 at home, 3.82 on the road.
Nomo has never lost to the Rockies. He is 2-0 against Colorado. The defense for the Dodgers brought to you by Coca-Cola. In the outfield for Los Angeles is Fonville, Hollinsworth, and Mondesi. Fonville played second base last night. Flowers, Gagne, DeShields, and Karros around the infield. The battery of Piazza and Nomo. Nomo's got basically a fastball, forkball. Those are his 2 main pitches. His Nomo mania has hit Coors Field. First pitch to Eric Young is over for a strike. EY 9 for 15 in the series. He has scored 4 times. He has 4 runs batted in. Young has just been unbelievable lately. He has a 7-game hitting streak currently, in which he has hit .438. He has also hit safely in 25 of his last 26 games at a .421 clip. Pop foul into the crowd. That's almost, Dave, a full month of solid production for the leadoff man.
Well, he's really done it since a year ago tomorrow, July 1st. That's when he took over for Jason Bates after Jason had an injury. He hit 355 the last half of last year and came in today at 351.
On the ground, Flowers has got it. Across to Karros in time, and Young is retired.
Nomo got ahead and then went to that split finger pitch, which is so difficult to hit. One of the keys with Nomo, throws a lot of first pitch fastballs. Eric Young told me he was going to look out over the plate and try to hit a ball to right center on the first pitch because he had homered off Nomo's first pitch in Dodger Stadium. Nomo came back inside on him instead.
Nomo remembered. Pitchers usually have a pretty good memory about things like that. Walt Weiss, the batter. Weiss continues to hover around 300 and looks at a ball. A very unusual delivery for Nomo, which makes it very difficult for him to hold runners on. So the running game could be a key part of the Rockies' attack today.
Got to get on. He does have good velocity today. That's one thing the Dodgers have been worried about.
Ball upstairs, 2-0 to walk Weiss.
He's been inconsistent. The Dodgers at times have had him 91, 92, in other games 85, but he's got a good fastball today.
That's down too low. 3-0 to Weiss. He'll take at least one.
Amazing thing about Nomo's control. Last year he walked some, but this year in his last 11 starts he's never walked more than 2 in a game.
3-1 now to Weiss. Well, the Cardinals are pounding Pittsburgh 8-0. St. Louis trying to win their 3rd straight. That game just in the 3rd. A 3-1 pitch to Weiss. It's over for a strike, and the count runs full now. Nomo has struck out 6 or more in his last 8 starts. Dave told you about the fact that he has walked 2 or less in 12 of his starts this year. This one looped into left center field. On comes Fonville, and he's there now to make the grab. Just hung in the air too long. 2 gone.
Good comeback by Nomo. He goes 3-0 on Weiss. Threw him 3 fastballs in a row. He's going to make him hit his way on, and he gets a second out in the inning.
Well, that'll bring up Ellis Burks. Solid candidate for most valuable player in the National League. Hitting .344, 20 home runs, 63 runs batted in, 71 runs scored, 6 for 12 in the series. The numbers just are staggering. Ball 1 outside. I don't get too caught up in the statistics, Dave. Neither you nor I do. But when you put up the kind of numbers that Ellis Burks has put up this year, it's impossible not to look at them.
Well, he's just been solid. I mean, you know, some people like to downplay Coors Field, but he's had very, very good numbers on the road as well. 325, a number of home runs out on the highways as well.
Absolutely. The 2-0 pitch. And that's down too low, and it's 3-0.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ellis get a green light. Don might like to get 1 run early.
.30 pitch is well outside. Ball 4. So Nomo so far does not have tremendous control. He fell behind Weiss 3-0. Finally got him, but he walks Burks on 4 pitches. And that'll bring up Dante Bichette. Bichette had a solo home run in the 8th inning last night, and that 8-run 8th for the Rockies. He has a 6-game hitting streak. He's hit .423 over that stretch. Probably more importantly, it's 3 home runs over the last 6 games. Now 16 on the year for Dante. He also leads the National League with his 76 runs batted in.
Kind of look down the various teams in the National League, and I would have to think one of the things that may hurt Ellis Burks is he's getting a lot of competition from his teammates like Bichette with the numbers he has, Galarraga with home runs and RBIs, Vinny Castilla picking it up. But I would say the first half, 4 guys to be considered would be McGriff, Bagwell, Piazza, and Burks.
There goes Ellis, swing and a miss. The throw into center field. Burks will take 3rd base. So a stolen base and a throwing error on Piazza.
Well, Mike didn't have much of a chance because of the high leg kick by Nomo. And again, that right knee of Piazza's, if it's going to bother him anywhere, it might be throwing. He kind of dragged it instead of pushing off, and that ball wasn't even in the zip code. Delino DeShields tries to fake Ellis Burks like he has it. That ball was heading for Fort Collins by the time that Todd Hollandsworth got it.
Ball and a strike to Bichette. Fouled off into the crowd. Boy, the outfield plays deep for the Dodgers on Dante Bichette, and they should. Look at that. I mean, they are, what, 3-4 steps from the warning track, all of them.
Yeah, now that Nomo has 2 strikes on Dante, it may be time for that ugly splitter. But on the other side of the coin, Burks has to be ready in case he throws it in the dirt and it gets away from Piazza a little bit.
He got him on some high heat, and Bichette's not happy with that swing. Well, that'll do it for the Rockies as Nomo strikes out Bichette to end the first. We've played one, no score from Coors. Hideo Nomo walked one and struck out one in the Rockies first.
Got a good fastball today.
Yeah, it does. Good velocity. Mark Thompson set to go back to work. He will face Mike Blowers, Todd Hollandsworth, and Greg Gagne in the Dodgers' second. No score. Blowers 4 for 10 in the series. He's scored a couple of times.
When Mark starts letting that slider slip out of his hands, that's when that arm is getting below parallel. He's got to get up and drive down on it to get his stuff to move down.
Like that?
Better.
Ball and a strike.
That was in the middle of the plate, but Blowers was looking for a fastball and did not pick up the rotation on the slider.
When you were hitting, Dave, did you try to pick up the ball from the pitcher right out of his hand? I mean, did you try to get it as early as you possibly could?
Yeah, and that's one thing is, certain guys are very deceptive and hide the ball well. Sometimes a guy can have 3 or 4 less miles per hour if he's deceptive, either with a high leg kick that hides it or bringing the glove in front of him. And the key, I mean, Ted Williams always talks about the key to hitting is recognition. The sooner you can recognize the pitch, the better chance you have of hitting it.
2-2. Is that part of maybe what makes Nomo special? His unusual delivery. You kind of get caught up looking at that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a long, slow delivery, and you're going, "Where's the ball? Where's the ball?" And when he has a good fastball like today, it just explodes. That high fastball to Bichette. Dante was at least thinking about a splitter, protecting the plate, and just went climbing up after that high gas.
2-2 pitch was lifted in the air down the line in shallow right field. That one could have been a souvenir, but an error on the fan. I know he'll be talking about that one forever now. I could have had it.
Sun got my eyes.
No, blame it. Oh, he's blaming it on his wife. now you're in big trouble, buddy.
Yeah. The hat, your hat. I went to reach for it and I hit your hat.
He should learn. You don't do things like that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt. I was just thinking before the start of today's game and looking over Mike Swanson's notes about the Dodgers or the Colorado Rockies fans coming out in record numbers again for the 4th consecutive year. The Rockies go over the 2 million mark faster than anyone else, and you almost become somewhat blasé about the numbers after a while. And I just don't want us to do that, because folks, the records that you are setting here in Colorado attendance wise are absolutely phenomenal, and my hat's off to you. It's really special to look out here every day and see 50,000 on hand.
Well, it's an event. It's a happening, and it's the place to be.
It is. It's a great place to be.
Blowers having a good at bat against Thompson. 8 pitches so far.
And he walks him. So the second walk for Thompson.
Well, again, the good news for Mark early on is he has good stuff, but the control is not quite there, not consistent. And for Frank Funk, it's just not a consistent release point. If he can get it, he's close. If he can get it, then he could settle in and have a heck of a game. But he's got to make a little bit of an adjustment and start throwing more strikes.
Todd Hollandsworth, the batter. He's had a pretty good series, 4 for 12. A run batted in and a run scored. See the numbers for Hollingsworth in his rookie campaign. Ball one. Well, right now Thompson is fidgeting out on the mound, and he's just trying to find that release point, trying to find his rhythm. Certainly not in the comfort zone right now. There's a strike. How soon do the batters start to sense that a pitcher doesn't exactly have his best stuff?
Well, it's not stuff, it's control with Thompson. And, you know, I mean, if they're watching, they observe. Mark went to a changeup there. Another thing that Funk has worked with is Thompson looks away and sometimes doesn't pick the target up till right at the last second. Watch his head in this delivery. Looks away and then just right at the last second looks back towards home. And sometimes Funk just feels he's losing sight of the target and can't pick it up with that very quick look back. I mean, Fernando Valenzuela used to look to the heavens and you'd wonder how he ever threw a strike. But for most pitchers, when they're teaching pitching, you talk about keeping your eyes focused on that catcher's target. Thompson does a lot of looking away.
It's an amazing thing in tennis. We're always taught not to look at our target when serving, because you don't want the opponent to know which side of the court you're going to aim your serve. But in baseball, you've just got to focus in on that catcher's glove and throw it to the spot. The 1-2 pitch to Hollingsworth, trying to get him to chase inside.
I mean, we talk about hitters being in a zone. Pitchers get in a zone when they are totally locked in on their catcher and the glove. They don't look at the hitter. They don't see the umpire. They are so focused just on that catcher's glove, and they're trying to hit that target. That's when they're locked.
Got him swinging on a good slider. So down goes Hollingsworth, the second strikeout for Thompson.
Now that's the slider that's breaking down, and that's a good slider. Hollingsworth again didn't pick the spin on it. So let's see if Mark can get through this inning.
Dave, that's what makes a guy like Greg Maddux so fun to watch. You can see the catcher set the mitt and then watch the ball, and I'll bet you the catcher doesn't move the mitt more than an inch or two from side to side. It's unbelievable.
Well, when Greg's on his game, that's very true. I mean, he's come out and said this year, last year, in the 2 years that I've just been, really in the zone, I generally would throw about 4 out of 5 pitches within a real small area of where I was aiming. He said this year it's been closer to 50 or 60%, and that difference hurt him early on, but he's back in the zone now. He's allowed 1 run in his last 22 innings.
He's got a new catcher. Greg,
wow.
Greg Gagne, the batter. Did he check in time? He did. A ball and a strike. Gagne has been hot lately. 5 for 10, 2 runs batted in, including a solo home run. He got the Dodgers offense kick-started here last night with a solo homer in the second.
Flowers again has not run this year.
Two balls and a strike. So Greg Gagne missed almost a month of the Dodgers season. They kept calling it a sprained ankle. I was talking to Greg about it. He said it was more than sprained. I tore some ligaments in that ankle. Said it's still not 100%. You wouldn't know it by his agility in the field in this series. 2-1 fastball rides high, and now it's 3-1.
Now this is where Gagne has made his living over the years. 2-0 and 3-1. He's going to expect a fastball from Thompson now, and he's going to be geared in on it. When he knows fastball's coming, he's not too bad a hitter. The old Mr. Snappy and the curveball that have given Gagne problems throughout his career. But if you can hit the fastball, you're generally going to make a living at this level, especially if you play defense like Gagne.
He's made a pretty good living over 11 years in the major leagues. 34 years of age. He says his career is starting to wind down, but you wouldn't know it by plays like this.
He was going to cover, had to reverse his body, make the play, and throw from a knee, and that was a big play at that time. The Dodgers were nursing a 2-0 lead.
3-1 pitch that misses, and ball 4. Second walk for Thompson in the inning, 3rd in the game. Runners at first and second. Nomo coming up.
Well, and you've seen most of Mark's misses have been up. You know, again, it's that not being able to get in that downward plane with his delivery, and up is not good against the Dodgers.
Nomo so far this year, Dave, has been the best hitter amongst the pitchers on the Dodgers staff at 161. Five of his hits have been, or five of his, he has 5 hits and 31 at bats is what I'm trying to say, and 3 of those 5 hits are doubles. Looking to bunt here though, and oh boy, Jayhawk Owens almost made a tremendous catch.
Nice try by Jayhawk. The Rockies had the wheel play on with Castilla charging and Weiss covering third. They do that because Blowers is not a good runner. See Vinny coming hard at third base, and Weiss was the cover at third. They don't do that every play though, and Joe Amalfitano just finished talking to Nomo as we take a look at Jayhawk's effort. While we were looking at that, Amalfitano was talking to Nomo, and I think one of the conversations was, if they charge you and Weiss is breaking to third, go ahead and pull back the bat and go ahead and try to slap it through the infield. Mistake pitchers often make here when they get that play is they try to hit the ball too hard and they end up hitting a lazy fly somewhere. What they really want is just hit a ground ball through that vacated infield.
Bunts it on the screen. He might bunt again with 2 strikes.
I think he will.
You know, you remember at Shea when Thompson trying to pitch out of a jam in the 3rd inning and had a bunt right back to him, had a great shot at the runner at third and threw it wild, and the Mets went on to score 3 that inning. 2 of those were earned, 1 unearned. And the Rockies lost that one by 1. He is going to bunt again, and a pretty good one. The throw to third though, boy, Owens pounced on that ball, and with Blowers not running well and Weiss covering, the Rockies are able to get the lead man.
Good play by Jayhawk. That's one of those things you want to make sure you can get the man. Jayhawk had it right in front of him, could see. Again, they had the wheel play on with Weiss covering third. Jayhawk never hesitated. Weiss got out of the way of Blowers and thought about going after Nomo at first, but figured he didn't have a good shot. Pretty good bunt, deadening it, but not far enough out for Nomo. So a good defensive play, a good fundamental play once again by the Rockies. Yeah, the Rockies know how to play good fundamental defense. That's one advantage that Don Baylor has, but he wanted to give him a little refresher course the other day.
Yeah, for a team that played so well defensively, such a strength last year, and basically the players are the same this year from last year. You would have thought there might have been a few more miscues in the outfield with Don Baylor juggling the outfield, but it's really been the infield that has been the problem. Tapped out in front of the plate. This should be the inning. So Thompson, despite walking 2, pitches out of another jam in the 2nd. And now the Rockies come to bat with Galarraga, Castilla, and Owens. Hideo Nomo wants to go to work here in the 2nd. Galarraga obliging. He's ready to go in the batter's box. And the first pitch fastball for a strike from Hideo Nomo. Nomo, of course, spent many years in the Japanese leagues. On the ground, DeShields has got it. One quickly gone on the Rockies' 2nd. Nomo pitched for Kinetsu, picked up by the Dodgers as a free agent, and still everywhere Nomo goes, he has a large contingent in media from Japan that follows him. And they are here again today at Coors Field. Photographers, television reporters, newspaper reporters, all covering Hideo Nomo.
Just wondering what those photographers think they're going to get as far as a different picture. I mean, his windup is always the same. His delivery is the same. Figure what's going to be different about this picture? I guess Coors Field maybe.
Castilla hits a high fly ball to left field. Back goes Fonville to the wall, and it's gone. Wow! That one's heading for the front range. Castilla now has an 11-game hitting streak. And he has 6 home runs over that stretch.
Vinny is on fire. Last 23 games now, 12 home runs, 29 runs batted in. I think he got a high split finger pitch. He did. He hit it straight up, but took a little advantage of the altitude. Fonville does his best, but I think Chad should have done a little climbing instead of jumping.
Jayhawk Owens, the batter. You want to tell everyone what Vinny asked you before the game?
Let's see.
How many?
Oh, how many more I need for 30? I said, Vinny, think about 45. I said, you keep thinking right field. Don't set your sights that low. I said, 45? I said, yeah, but just keep thinking right field.
Boy, the way he's going lately. Wow. I would like to know the exact speech that Don Baylor and Ken Griffey gave Vinny Castilla in Houston, because since then, as you see, Castilla has handled Nomo well. Since then, Vinny Castilla has been the hottest of all Rocky hitters, and the Rocky hitters have been hot.
One of the advantages that today's player has over when I played is, you know, batting coaches used to tell me things, but I couldn't visualize it all the time. Now, with the great video equipment they have, they can point out things to them, you know, on the video.
Jayhawk Owens dumps one into right field, and that one stays fair. Owens is going to hold up at first. Mondesi got that ball, and Owens decided, I don't think so, and a wise move to stay at first.
I agree with Jayhawk. It's fastball away, inside outside. Mondesi over, and this time he's going to have better balance, although his foot did slip on the warning track, but Jayhawk had already decided discretion was a better part of valor there.
Yes, sir. So back-to-back hits for Castilla and Owens. Rockies leading it 1-0. Quentin McCracken, the batter. Hugh is 5 for 11 in the series. He also has walked 6 times. Up the middle, Gagne's only play with Owens running is at first base. So by activating the runner, they stay out of the double play.
You know, Don Baylor sent a runner on the first pitch each time, and he's just not going to wait around on Nomo. Every time they get a guy at first, even a Jayhawk Owens, who doesn't run all that well, he's in motion. Now you say, well, that wasn't a very good hit and run. Indeed it was. The job on the hit and run is to hit a ground ball, to advance the man to second. You're not stealing a base. If you find a hole, then it's a great hit and run, but that was good work by McCracken to put it in play on the ground.
Absolutely. Now here's Mark Thompson. Thompson dumps it down the line, but foul. Mark hitting 136. He has 3 hits and 22 at bats.
Told Mark there was pressure on him today. He said, why? I said, Billy Swift hit a home run off Nomo here last year. He went, oh, okay. Thompson's got a pretty good swing if he gets a pitch to handle.
Big kid, too. There's that forkball or split-fingered pitch of Nomo. That just bottom just drops out of it. It's like falling off a table.
No, he's got better stuff than his one appearance in Coors Field last year. He didn't have real good stuff, and the Rockies knocked him out early, but the Dodgers won that game. I think that was that, might have been that 17-11 game.
Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Nomo, but the damage had been done by Vinny Castilla. It's a 1-out home run, and the Rockies are on the board as we head to the third. The Dodgers coming to bat in the third with the Rockies leading 1-0. Delino DeShields, Mike Piazza, and Eric Karros. This will be a key inning for Mark Thompson. Trying to put another 0 up on the board. The Dodgers have stranded 2 in each of the first 2 innings. Bunted foul, strike 1 to DeShields. Dodgers have just 1 hit, but they've had 4 base runners, 3 walks by Thompson.
The Cubs, Steve Traxell's been their best pitcher this year. They lead Cincinnati trying to stop that red 7-game winning streak. 3-0 in the 5th.
Traxell was really supposed to be the number 5 starter for the Cubs, but you're right, he's been their ace.
You talk to the Rocky hitters, and even though Traxell struggled the last 2 years,
Shields turns on that one and missed another one down there.
Now, the Rockies hitters, almost to a man, will tell you that Traxel has the best stuff of any starter on that staff. He just was inconsistent, would get behind and maybe lay one in, but he's not doing it this year.
One-two pitch. He tried to paint the outside edge, and it's 2-2.
Okay, Mark, right here, 2-2. Too many problems arise when you go 3-2.
Pops him up. Shallow center field. Out goes Eric Young, shielding his eyes from the sun. Nice catch.
Went to the changeup. The Shields waited fairly well and then jammed himself. So EY tracked that ball down, battled a little bit of a tough sun.
Well, Piazza comes up with no one on, one out. Piazza hit the ball hard his first time on the line to Dante Bichette. And that one's gone. We're tied at 1.
Ay, 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 ay.
That didn't take long. Chasing it down on the concourse. Piazza has just hit his 4th home run of the series and his 22nd of the year.
The only thing good about it, nobody on base. Thompson tried to come in on him, and once in a while Piazza first pitch will look in, and he dropped the head down, and that was an instant yard ball. Mercy.
Karros tries to follow him and hits it high and deep to left field. Burke's going back, leaping, and he runs out of real estate. Back-to-back homers by Piazza and Karros, and it's 2-1 Dodgers.
Back-to-back pitches. Well, we've had one legitimate home run and two that probably at Dodger Stadium, Castillas and Karros would not have gone.
Karros with his 3rd home run of the series. All have been solo home runs. 17 now on the year.
Karros has 3 in the series. Piazza 4.
Mondesi 1. Three to 1.
Better try something different, Mark. Maybe throw one in the dirt or something. 3 pitches in a row and 3 solo homers for the big 3 of the Dodgers.
Well, we often say solo home runs don't beat you, but this is getting ridiculous.
If I'm Mike Blowers, I don't think I'd dig in real deep here.
A sudden outburst of power by the Dodgers. Blowers tried to make it 4 in a row. Bring those keys back up. Well, the good news, as Dave said, though, all came with nobody on. The Rockies still trail by just 2. Strike 2. Get all the distances on those home runs?
Yeah, but I don't have a calculator.
428, 432, 396. Long run, and that one's off the corner. Blowers heading to second base with a double. Yeah, I got a feeling Mr. Funk's going to be heading out to the mound. 3 home runs and a double.
Everything's in the same plane. The slider's not breaking down. It's flat. Everything's kind of the same speed, and we've often told you that when hitters can gear in on one speed, if the ball's where they can get their arms extended, major league hitters are going to hit the ball pretty well. Everything very flat in the inning.
Last time Dodgers hit 3 home runs in a row is in 1980. Well, Thompson's got to stop the bleeding right here. 3-1. The game is still very manageable. You don't want it to get out of hand and get into that bullpen right now. Not this early. Todd Hollinsworth, the batter. He struck out his first time. Flowers on at second, 1 out in the 3rd. Fouled off by Hollinsworth.
Well, one thing I think Frank talked about was, Mark, you've got to change speeds. He started Hollinsworth off with a changeup. Change speeds and improve that arm angle to get the ball in a downward plane. I mean, the velocity is enough if he makes quality pitches.
Strike 2. He got ahead of Blowers, and now he's ahead of Hollinsworth. The Orioles are pounding the Yankees 9-0 that game in the 7th. Baltimore wins, and looks like they will. They'll pull back to within 4.5 in the East in the American League. On the ground up the middle, base hit. Blowers will score from second. And the Dodgers have put a 4 spot so far on the board here in the 3rd.
Well, I don't know if he went to 3 straight changeups, but changing speed's one thing, but you can't throw a major league hitter 3 of the same in a row, I don't think.
So that'll bring up Greg Gagne. He walked his first time up. Rockies had a brief lead on Vinny Castilla's solo home run in the bottom of the 2nd. But the Dodgers have answered, and how, here in the 3rd.
Well, stop the bleeding, and you got the top of the order coming on in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, starting off with Eric Young, their second go round against Nomo. But Mark Thompson needs to get a ground ball at somebody right here.
Fastball up and in. Ball 1 to Gagne.
Don Baylor announced today that there will be a change in pitching next Thursday. Roger Bailey will get the start, and Brian Ricard is going to the pen. That doesn't mean Bailey still could not pitch an inning or 2 up until Monday. His normal throw day would probably be Monday, so that's why he's in the pen.
Popped up, shallow right field. Bichette, he's camping under this one now, and he makes the easy play. 2 gone in the Dodgers 3rd. That'll bring up Hideo Nomo. So a chance for Thompson just to nail this door shut right here.
Mark's only had 2 ground ball outs, and one of them was a bunt by Nomo, so he's not. When Thompson's right, he's going to get some ground balls.
That one's into the gap. Hollinsworth can run. He's off and going from first, and he'll score. Nomo, what did I say? When he gets a hit, it's usually a double. He has 6 hits now this year, and 4 of them have been for extra bases.
Well, not exactly what the Rockies needed. They got into their bullpen pretty deep yesterday, and they don't really want to start going to it again in the 3rd inning today.
Well, the Dodgers are teeing off here in the 3rd. 9th man to come to the plate, Chad Fonville.
Well, if Fonville gets an extra base hit, then we know we got some problems, as Funk is making a local call. Fonville hadn't had an extra base hit in his last 74 at bats.
Strike 1 to Fonville. Bailey, who we just got through talking about, is going to start warming up.
Well, Roger came in and held the Dodgers down fairly well yesterday.
Good pitch there, a riding fastball. Fonville couldn't catch up to it, and it's quickly 2 strikes on Chad. might be telling Bailey now, don't throw too many out there. Let's just see how Thompson does right here. A ball and 2 strikes. Piazza started the hit parade with a home run, followed by a home run from Karros, a home run from Mondesi, a double from Blowers, a single from Hollingsworth, and a batter later, a double from Nomo. And Nomo's first run batted in of the year. Five to 1 in favor of the Dodgers. Longo got just a piece of it to stay alive at 2-2.
Still hear the ringing from that ball Piazza hit. Yeah. Man, did he crush that.
It was probably from the bat to the seats, about 2 seconds. Line drive, base hit. McCracken charging. They're going to hold Nomo at third. So a base hit, but so far no further damage. So that'll bring up Delino DeShields for the second time here in the third. He started the third with a pop to the second baseman, Eric Young.
Well, it may sound strange to say, but the way the Rockies rallied last night, I think Mark Thompson is facing a very critical out right here, because if he doesn't get DeShields, I don't think he's going to be around to see Piazza. Jayhawk Owens has been told to go out and talk to Thompson. I don't know if that means Baylor wants to make the change right now, or if he just wants to give Roger a little more time in case it gets to Piazza. That's all that conference is to stall a little bit and give Bailey some more time. Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, coming out and tells Jayhawk he's got to come back.
Bailey just started warming up a couple of minutes ago.
One thing the Rockies will have to do is Jayhawk should give a sign here what's going to happen if Fonville takes off. You don't expect Nomo to be part of a double steal, and Don Baylor is not going to go any longer.
So Mark Thompson will get the early exit. Roger Bailey will come in to try to put out the Dodger fire in the third. Los Angeles leading it 5-1. And we'll be back in just a moment. Now Roger Bailey coming out of the pen. He's been just tough as nails since his recall on the 15th of the month. Since that time, he has thrown 8 2/3 scoreless innings with 5 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Last night, he worked 2 2/3 innings with 2 hits and 2 strikeouts.
Well, Roger last year, and we mentioned that as of right now, Don Baylor is planning on giving him a start in Los Angeles against these Dodgers. Bailey came on last year when Billy Swift went down in the month of August and won 4 big games for Colorado in the starting rotation. He's not overpowering, but he's got a fairly decent forkball, and he's got a good changeup and spots the ball.
Talk to me for a moment, Dave, about the effect of pitching 2 2/3 last night and then coming back here today.
Well, you know, I never pitched in my life, so it's tough to say. Some guys just have more resilient arms than other guys, and I think the Dodger hitters will let us know. I mean, Bailey was extremely effective last night.
Delino DeShields the first to face him with runners at first and third and 2 outs. So far, it's been a 5-run inning for the Dodgers. 3 of those on solo home runs. DeShields' numbers so far have not been impressive. You saw his runners in scoring position number, his on-base percentage number is under 300. And he has tried to bat leadoff a little bit for the Dodgers, but that job seems to have, at least for the moment, been handed over to Fonville. Ball 1 to Delino DeShields, and I don't think we need to remind anyone who's on deck. That guy. That guy with 4 home runs in the last 2 games. there's concern over Fonville, Dave, at first base, but I think I just focus on DeShields here and let's get that third out and go back into the dugout.
Well, the third out is going to be critical in this inning.
Down too low, 2-0.
I don't want to be a front runner, but if he walks the line of DeShields, I'm going to go get a Coke. I'm not going to watch the other guy bat.
Okay. Can I go with you? There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike now to DeShields. Piazza hit a loud home run here in the third that got the Dodgers offense kick-started. Went to the back row and rolled around in the concourse.
It was still rising, wasn't it? Yeah.
I know I didn't have any time to think about making a long home run call. That's gone. We're tied. Now it's 3-1. DeShields is also very well aware of who's in that on deck circle. So is Fonville. I doubt you're going to see Fonville run. I'd love to see Piazza come up with the bases loaded.
Not a bad try, although Fonville had that red all the way. He ran right back to first base when Bailey made the fake throw to third.
The 3-1 pitch back to the mound, and Bailey knocks it down. He'll get out of the inning and survive what could have been a very scary moment facing Piazza with the bases loaded. So Bailey does his job and the Dodgers score 5. Dave and Dave with you from Coors Field on a sunny day in Denver. Hideo Nomo gave up a solo home run to Vinny Castilla and a single to Owens. That's been about it. But he'll face the top of the order for the Rockies here in the third. Young, Weiss, and Burks. Sold out for the 93rd consecutive day. 93 straight sellouts. Amazing. Some clubs would like to have 93 sellouts in their history. Young hit a ground ball to third base his first time up. This one down the line, but twisting foul.
Well, Lewi's game plan against Noble was to look fastball away and go that way. He did, but just a little late on it.
Well, we mentioned Ely with his 7-game hitting streak. He enters today second in that National League batting race with a .351 average, down to .350 right now after making it out in his first at bat. He was hot last night with 4 hits and drove home a pair of runs. He's hit Nomo well too, including that leadoff home run. There's a line drive, base hit. Might be more if Hollingsworth doesn't hurry. Ely takes a big turn at first, but goes back with a leadoff single.
Yeah, no sense in taking a chance when you're down 4. As Ely said, I haven't been running quite as much because the Bombers have been hot. But I suspect unless Nomo pitches out here, he's going to be running fairly early. Rockies don't feel this 4-run lead is insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all. They didn't feel a 13-run lead was insurmountable last night with 2 innings to go. I was talking to Dante Bichette about that comeback last night. And he said, I know we lost, but I left the ballpark feeling like we had won. Weiss turned on that one just a little bit early.
Well, Nomo looks like his velocity's down a little bit from the first 2 innings, and that's good.
Against the Dodgers, it's pretty much his numbers for the whole season against everyone. Strike 2 to Weiss. I'm surprised we haven't seen Eric Young go yet.
Well, Nomo rushed his delivery a little bit, but he's got Walt 0-2 now.
If you're going to pitch out, this would be the time to do it. There goes Eric Young, and the pitch fouled straight back. Young had a good jump. He would have easily stolen second.
Well, the trouble is with Nomo, you've got to really run early in the count. That puts a lot of pressure on Weiss now. He's down 0-2 and has to protect. He's not in a position where you can take a pitch so the man can steal.
Young not going, and the pitch is a called third strike. 3 strikeouts now for Nomo.
Well, every umpire has their own way of calling it. I would say Jerry Lane is probably the least demonstrative of any of them.
A little nonchalant.
That's a good pitch right there.
Well, he fooled me once, but I was ready for his move that time. Here's Ellis Burks. There goes the runner. The throw high again, and Young has his 22nd stolen base.
Well, again, you're not stealing on the catcher here. You're stealing on the pitcher. You can see Delino de Shields was ready to run up and just catch the ball because Eric had it stolen easily.
He might go for third. Two and 0 now. The count to Ellis Burks.
Well, in this case, I mean, if Nomo absolutely gives it to you, yeah, but I mean, absolutely no possible way can you get thrown out at third base when you're down by 4 runs.
That's right. Rockies have had a couple of runners thrown out at third in this series. One last night. I don't know if it was a rally killer, but it didn't help in that 8-run 8th last night. There he goes to third base. The throw not in time. So Eric knew he could make it, and he did. Good thing he did.
Well, the Rockies have stolen 3 and had another man get in scoring position because they ran. I mean, if they're going to get men out against Nomo, they can run wild, but they're still going to have to do some things with the bat. I don't think Eric's going to steal home here, so you're still going to have to knock him in.
3-0. Probably a green light. Ball 4. Well, now a big hit by Bichette, and you're right back in the ball game.
Well, let's see if Burks might run. First pitch. Where you take off the possibility of a double play, and a single scores 2.
Yep. Burks stole a base in the first inning and then went to third on a throwing error by the catcher Piazza. But Burks has walked twice. Bichette struck out his first time up. Rockies trying to answer the 5-run third for the Dodgers. Burks not going, and the pitch taken for a strike.
It looked like Dante was giving Ellis a pitch, but Ellie didn't really have that kind of lead to go.
There he goes, and they've got him picked off. Burks trying to get into a rundown. Here comes Young to the plate. He's safe, and they're safe at first too. Wow! Talk about manufacturing a run.
Well, a bad play turns into a good one. I think Eric Carroll should have just taken the out at first base he had with Burks when you got that big a lead. Good base running though by Eric Young after Ellis got picked off. Karros forgets to tag Burks, comes home way too late. So Eric Young steals second, third, and home, and I'll guarantee you he's the first man to ever do that in Rockies history.
And he has vaulted himself up amongst the leaders in the stolen base category. 3 stolen bases for Eric Young. And a high fly ball to deep center field. Back goes Hollingsworth, and you can forget about it. Wow! Here we go again.
Well, again, you go back to that big out that Bailey got. The Rockies, if they know they can stay in this game. And Bichette struck out on a high fastball, but Nomo's lost some velocity since the first inning. He jumped all over that one.
Now Galarraga on the forkball. He misses. Strike one to Andres.
Well, I was wrong again. I said no way will Eric Young steal home. He did. So he stole second, third, and home. First Rocky to ever do that.
How about that? 24 stolen bases now for Eric Young. On the ground, foul by Galarraga.
Cap would like to have that high forkball back. He just pulled the trigger a little soon.
So the Rockies have answered the 5 spot by the Dodgers with 3 of their own here in the third. 5-4 our score now. The Dodgers on top by just 1. Fouled off again by the Cat.
You know, keep it close and remember the old axiom at Coors Field. We get the last 3 swings.
There you go. All smiles now. Look at Eway. Yeah, still home.
That fan caught the foul ball.
I'm not sure who's happier. Good splitter again from Nomo. Steady diet of splitters to Galarraga.
Now they saw what the Cat did with 3 fastballs out over the plate, 2 of them to Estacio and 1 from Ramon Martinez. 3 home runs straightaway center. So they've decided to see if he can hit the off-speed pitch.
Kind of fun to watch. Castilla and Bichette are having kind of a home run derby amongst the 2 of them. One hits one. The other guy said, well, all right, now it's time for me to tie it up. Castilla hit his 17th in the second. Bichette answered with 1 in the third. So just foul past third.
Well, one of the things we talked about in the open was first team to 13 has a chance to win. I'm not sure 13 will be enough today.
Really?
I'm not sure.
That was Castilla's home run in the second inning, just over the wall in left field. Fonville tried to climb up over the wall to get it. This one popped foul into the crowd. 2 strikes on Vinny Castilla.
Well, just about time you say, hey, we're back in the game. You look down at that score sheet and see who's coming up for the Dodgers next inning. It's going to be that kind of day all afternoon, folks. So settle back, relax, and chances are a few more runs are going to be scored here.
Inside, 1 and 2. They have started at 3-count Park, and the Padres leading the Giants 2-0 in the first. On a pitch in the dirt, Castilla goes down swinging. Nomo strikes out the side, but a 2-run homer from Bichette. Eric Young steals home. The Rockies score 3 to pull to within 1. Welcome back to Coors Field. 5-4 our score. We have seen home runs from Piazza, Karros, and Mondesi of the Dodgers, and Bichette and Castilla of the Rockies. Piazza lead off the 4th for the Dodgers, and here's Dave Campbell.
Thank you, sir. What did we have? 9 last night?
Yeah.
5 today in 3 innings. Hey. Piazza fouls it off.
He's probably thinking to himself right now, well, I have 4 home runs in about my last 6 at bats. Talking about a guy locked in.
Piazza fouls it. Last time a player stole second, third, and home in a major league game, Devon White, in 1989 with the California Angels.
That is a while ago.
1984 was the last time in the National League, but I couldn't quite hear Swanee. I couldn't hear the name, so we'll have to wait on that. 0-2 to Piazza. Popped him up foul, but out of play, and Bailey's made good pitches on the Dodgers strongman.
A 0 right here would look pretty good, wouldn't it?
Ooh, boy. Don Baylor says the psychological implication of just putting a 0 up, back-to-back zeros in a game like this is so huge for his offense. 1-2. Cubs leading Cincinnati 4-0 behind Steve Traxel. Dave Burba started for the Reds. Piazza finally had a bad swing and broke a bat. Bailey threw I think it was a splitter that came in on him, but I guess when you're in that good zone, even when the pitcher makes a tremendous pitch, you can foul it off.
Just protecting inside. Ugh. Looked like a cricket swing.
I think that ball would have hit Mike right in the hip had it not hit his bat. It was just coming in on him. Piazza talking to Jayhawk. Jayhawk says, I'm not giving you any sympathy, man.
Really?
Well, Bailey's made good pitches, but Piazza is still standing there. 2-2.
Hard in, soft away. That's kind of the pattern you need to pitch to Piazza, isn't it?
Yeah, and soft away and down.
Yeah, down.
Soft away up goes up, and away.
Yeah.
Got it. Moral victory for Roger Bailey and the Rockies.
What do you know? That's a great pitch.
Was indeed.
Boy, oh boy. Bailey with a little hop after he got Piazza.
1 out.
I'm going to go down and check
Here's
on
Karros.
all those records. All right?
Okay. Bring me a hot dog too while you're
All
at
right,
it.
you got it.
Karros to right center. Got some smoke on it. And Karros has tied Piazza in the series with 4 home runs apiece. So it's 6-4, but all 4 of the Dodger homers have been soloed at this point. One bad pitch and you don't get away with it with this group in the middle of the Dodger lineup. Not in this ballpark. So Eric Karros has his second of the day. 4th of the series. Piazza has 4 and Mondesi 1. That's 9 home runs with that trio. High pitch. Not a lot on it. Mondesi homered his last time up. Bailey delivers a strike. Nothing in 1. Boy, Jerry Lane's really getting lazy with the calls now. Corner, strike 2. So Bailey has made a lot of good pitches in the inning. One bad one. And in the unforgiving confines of Coors and the way the Dodgers are hitting confidently in the middle of the lineup, not many mistakes going to get by these guys. Tries to go a little further outside. It's the Scully line, like trying to sneak a pork chop past a wolf. Try to sneak the sunrise past a rooster. That ain't working right now, folks. Third ball outside. 2-2. Mondesi just 2 for 23 against the Rockies this year. He did hit in some tough luck last night, though. He hit 3 balls very hard his first 3 times up without any luck. Phillies lead Montreal 5-2. Pedro Martinez started that game for the Expos. St. Louis all over Pittsburgh 10-1 in the 8th, and Houston pounding on the Mets 8-2 in the 6th. 3-2. So Bailey's gone in away. Got ahead 0-2, and now Mondesi has a 3-ball 2-strike count. Jayhawk Owens laying out a sign. 6-4 Dodgers in the 4th. Got it. Who figures this one is going to be a long afternoon? Not necessarily a bad one. It's just going to be long, and a lot of decisions are going to have to be made. Flowers takes just inside for the walk. taking on Todd Hollinsworth. American League action. Boston beat Detroit today 9-4. Toronto jumped all over Milwaukee 15-2. Those are finals. Baltimore handing it to the Yankees 9-1. Those two clubs will split that 4-game series at Yankee Stadium. Minnesota leads Kansas City 5-2. Later on, Texas at Seattle. Hollinsworth takes a strike. Oakland at California, and tonight will be Cleveland at Chicago.
We're out of hot dogs.
Oh man,
sorry. A lot of reporters down there.
Okay, well, give me. Oh, that's right. Nomo's pitching today. Okay, but well, I'm afraid to ask you all the stuff because we got two outs.
We'll try to get him
Change
quickly.
up. Okay.
Last National Leaguer to steal 3 bases in an inning. Dusty Baker with the Giants in '84. Devon White, as you mentioned, did it in '89 with California. The 3 stolen bases ties a club record for a game. 4th time it's happened. 3 times EY has done it, and it's the 6th stolen base of home by the Rockies. Weiss was the last to do it on the 5th of May of this year.
McCracken looking into the sun, so if you can say such a thing as minimal damage, we will. 6-4 Dodgers as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom third of the Rockies order. Owens, McCracken, and Bailey Dew. And right now, no activity in the Rockies bullpen. Jayhawk had a single to right field his first time up.
Nomo had just given up 2 home runs in his last 9 starts after giving up 7 home runs in his first 7, but 2 homers already here today.
He only pitched here once last year and gave up 3, including 1 to Billy Swift, and wasn't around after the 5th inning. Jayhawk Owens to lead off. High pop on the first pitch towards DeShields. He'll battle some sun, backpedal, and grab, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th. Rockies off to San Francisco. Day games tomorrow and Tuesday. Those will not be televised. It'll be Armando Reynoso against Alan Watson. Tuesday, Kevin Ritz against Mark Gardner. Both those games can be heard on the Rockies radio network. I believe the Monday game starts at 2:00 Rocky Mountain time, and then 1:30 on Tuesday as they play 12:30 local in San Francisco. The Wednesday night game will be televised on ESPN, as will the Thursday night game at Dodger Stadium.
You're working both of those.
I am, and then back Friday and Sunday on the Rockies television network, with Fox picking up the telecast Saturday. So beginning Wednesday, all games will be on right here on the Rockies flagship station, Channel 2, on Friday and Sunday, ESPN Wednesday, Thursday, and Fox Saturday. So hope that'll help you find the Rockies. 2 balls, no strikes to Quentin McCracken. Q looks at a strike, 2-1. Roger Bailey's out on deck. Saw Roger had some pretty good swings the other night when he came in. Yeah, last night. Seemed like it was a couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
Q up the middle, but DeShields over bobbles, and that's one gripe on Delino DeShields, that balls that he should get in front of, he plays off on the side. That was a knock on Eric Young last year. This ball you got to get in front of.
He had time to do it. A little bit of laziness here, just trying to backhand the ball, and it goes through the webbing.
If you got your body in front of it, then the ball's going to hit off your body if you don't field it cleanly. You still have a chance to throw the runner out,
especially as the second baseman. I mean, that's the short throw.
So that's an error on DeShields. Well, let's see what Don Baylor has in mind. Does he let McCracken run? Does he have Bailey sacrifice, or did he see Rogers swing the other night and say, you got a pretty good cut? I think you start McCracken. I don't know. I know one thing. Don wants to get Eric up with a man in scoring position here. Nomo wanted to take a look. Well, Nomo's got the high leg kick, but he also showed he's got a little bit of a quick pickoff move when he had Ellis Burks hung out to dry. Fortunately for the Rockies, all came out well on that play. McCracken goes. Bailey pulls it back, and it's a stolen base. So Bailey squared around, tried to hit it through the vacated spot, but once again we talked about swinging too hard in this play.
Nomo doesn't help Piazza as far as his percentage of catching would-be theft artists. Now he doesn't throw there, so he doesn't get charged because he just doesn't make the throw. It's probably not a bad idea on his part.
No balls and a strike. Nomo fakes to make sure McCracken's not going to steal third on him. So the Rockies have stolen 5 on 6.
6. 3 for Young, 1 for Burks, 1 for McCracken.
That's 5.
That's 5. Your math is better than mine.
Okay. Bailey tries to bunt and fouls it off.
It feels like 6.
Well, they sent Jayhawk Owens when McCracken was up, and they advanced a runner when McCracken hit a ground ball. I don't think Bailey had this bunt sign there. I think that's what Gene Glenn was saying. Hey, knock him in. 5 stolen bases ties the club record, and if Nomo stays out there, they will definitely set it today. You know who the other guy is that has 3 stolen bases in a game besides Eric Young?
Dante Bichette.
Charlie Hayes.
Charlie Hayes.
Eric, 3 stolen bases in 1 inning, and the club record for the game is 3.
He gets on again, and Nomo's still out there. He'll set the new club record. He could take the National League lead today.
If Nomo stayed out long enough, and he could get on base enough.
Yeah.
And Bailey down on strikes. So Nomo notches his 6th strikeout of the afternoon, and be up to Eric Young to try to get a hit to drive in McCracken. We talk about, Piazza, Quiros, Mondesi. You can imagine what Vin Scully is talking about when they see Burks, Bichette, Galarraga, Castilla come up as well.
And Young. I mean, Young doesn't have the power, but he sets the table.
Well, he's had 10 hits in the series against his former mates. He's trying to make a heck of a statement. The All-Star electees will be announced on Monday, and the reserves on Tuesday. It figures Eric's not going to be elected, but he'd sure like to make it as a reserve, and is certainly deserving. But he's making a last-minute statement to Bobby Cox and others in the National League. A lot of people think that the manager of the team is the only one that picks the reserves. That's not true. You factor in the National League president, the coaches that are going to be going to the All-Star game. Bobby Cox will poll the other managers in the National League. Eric takes it outside. There'll be a huge pool of information for Bobby Cox to make those final selections. And again, somebody from every team must go. And with a 28-man roster and 14 teams, then some guys deserving obviously get left off. Eric, I think, went, and he did, 2-2. So he went after that split finger pitch of Nomo's.
Well, Dave, it looks like Bichette might get voted in because Justice is 3rd in the balloting right now, and he can't play. He's out for the season probably with an injury. Bichette may get voted in. The other 2 that really deserving, are Burks and Young, the E-Train.
In the dirt. Nice stop by Piazza, 3-2, with Weiss due next. No significant changes on the scoreboard since we last updated you. The Giants have gotten 1, so it's 2-1 San Diego in the second as San Francisco tries to snap a 9-game losing streak.
I hope they do today and then start another 3-game losing streak tomorrow.
Uy fouls it off as Nomo threw him a high split finger pitch. Well, during this 9-game slide of the Giants, a lot of reasons, but Barry Bonds and Matt Williams have only hit 1 homer. Bonds hit 1 yesterday. Stan Javier is 1 for 31. But the scary thing is, those guys are quality players. They're going to break loose at some point. McCracken goes. EY just fouls it off. I don't know. I still have ambivalent feelings about that stealing third with 2 strikes on the hitter, because I just think it causes a momentary lapse in vision by the hitter as they see that runner going, and if you lose focus on the pitch coming to the plate, it might be just enough to strike you out. Eric Young down the first base side, foul. Good play by Karros, but first base umpire Paul Runge says foul. So EY is battling. Nomo's been throwing split finger pitches that he's been fouling to the left, and then a fastball that he just got off to the right.
Late swing and right down the line. Runge in perfect position to make the call.
6-4 Dodgers. Rockies trying to answer that solo home run by Karros in the top half of this inning. Eric Young trying to get a base hit to get the Rockies within 1. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Finale of a 4-game series. Bounces, and McCracken was running, and Eric Young will take the walk. And I'll tell you, if Piazza doesn't knock that down, McCracken might score. First time in 12 starts that Nomo has walked 3. And that was the old about 50-foot split finger pitch.
Well, you send Young again, don't you? Why not?
Well, that's, by the way, that's a Rockies club record,
right,
in stolen bases with 6. McCracken stole 3rd on the play.
Wallace coming out. He's probably going to say, all right, excuse me, this is Russell coming out. He's probably talking strategy. What are we going to do if and when Eric Young tries to steal second base?
Well, I wonder if Nomo has that fake to 3rd, back to 1st move. That's the one you probably want to use here if you're going to use one. I think the other thing Russell might be saying, and of course no interpreter out there, so Nomo has been studying some English, but it might be something the effect, don't let the runners worry, you get the hitter out. Or he may have said, why don't you try that fake to 3rd, throw to 1st play and maybe catch Young off.
Also probably said, whatever we do, if we get EY caught in a rundown over there, let's get the out. Let's not botch it up like we did the last time.
And there was a courtesy toss to 1st.
It might have been 2 to see what McCracken was doing over at 3rd.
Hughes is standing there. He's not going anywhere. Weiss fouls it at the plate. If Walt gets 2 strikes on him, then Baylor may try some kind of a double steal. I'm just not sure, though, the Dodgers are going to throw through on Eric Young, so I think McCracken's going to have to be careful not to get trapped off 3rd base. Piazza might fake a throw.
Well, you've got your 2 speediest guys on the base paths.
Inside to Weiss, 1-1. Yeah, the good thing about our job is we get to look and don't have to make the decisions.
Yeah, that's right.
Managers live and die by them. When they work, it's beautiful, and if it doesn't, then you say, oh man, we ran ourselves out of another inning. Young goes, Weiss takes, no throw, and McCracken, good play. Club record for Eric Young, his 4th stolen base, and the Rockies have stolen 7.
25 stolen bases now. New club record with 7 steals for the Rockies. Eric Young moving up the charts in the National League stolen base race.
Base hit ties it. Looper, if it's fair, we're tied. It's fair, and we are tied. Weiss is going to challenge Mondesi and make it 6-6.
huge 2-out hit for Walt Weiss. The stolen bases by McCracken and Young set up the inning, and then Weiss with a broken bat looper to bring them both home.
Well, Mondesi had a shot, but he bobbles the ball here when he's transferring it, and that allowed Weiss to make it. 6-6 in the fourth, folks.
I love this game. I do. I really do. This is fun.
You know, there's one thing, and over in the American League, I hate to keep picking on the American League, and I mean, I don't hate the American League. I just prefer National League Baseball better. But in the American League, when you play a 3-hour and 45-minute game, it's usually 6-3. You play, if you have to play a long one here, I guarantee you it's going to be exciting all the way through.
You're right.
Ellis taps it foul. And it's 0-2. Well, the Rockies have come back on Nomo, and they've finally achieved a tie, but got a man out in scoring position. No reason why you shouldn't try to take a lead. Cubs leading Cincinnati now 6-0. Burks. Rockies have the lead. Weiss scores. Ellis heading to second base. He'll have a double, and it's 7-6 Rockies.
I hear that train coming. Rolling down the tracks.
Well, Eric Young told Dante Bichette before the game. He said, Dante, I've got to score at least 3 runs today. And Dante says, I need to knock in 5. So Eric's scored 2. Dante's knocked in 2. So maybe they're on their way. Dante homered his last at bat. In the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodger bullpen is making a little bit of movement out there. And seeing how it catches up, Joey Eishen is going to start throwing. Well, the Atlanta Braves came in here leading the National League in ERA, and by the time the Rockies got done with them, they were well entrenched in second. Bichette swings and misses. The Dodgers came in leading the National League by a fairly wide margin over the Braves in ERA, and after 3 games, the Braves have reclaimed the top spot. Dodgers ERA coming in here was 3.09. Starting today, 3.42 and going up. Bichette after that splitter, 1-2. Nomo's due to bat second in the 5th inning. Dante struck out on a high fastball and homered on a high fastball.
How big is that error by the Shields, huh?
Got to get in front of the ball. In the dirt, gets away, and Burks will go to third. That'll be a wild pitch. Piazza's done a pretty good job of knocking the ball down and keeping it in front of him today, but that one banged off him and went to his left.
Does this then maybe take that split-fingered pitch out of the arsenal of Nomo here with the man on third?
I don't know. He's really had trouble bouncing it in the inning, but you know, Piazza also got to have confidence that he can block it. Mike thinking it over himself before he puts some fingers down. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bichette a base hit. What a 2-strike hitter Dante Bichette has become in the last 2 years. 8-6 Rockies. 3 RBIs for Bichette.
79 on the year. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're cooking again today. Well, they talk a lot, Dave, about Wade Boggs being a great 2-strike hitter. I'm telling you, Bichette is just as impressive as Wade Boggs, and usually has more power too than Wade Boggs, even with 2 strikes. He's hit a lot of 2-strike home runs this year. Bichette might try to steal.
Could be, especially if Big Cat gets behind in the count. Andres, along with the pitchers, the only two Rockies not on base in this one today.
He set the tone in this series, though, didn't he?
I would say 8 RBIs in the opener on Thursday night. Came back early in Friday night's game. They had a 2-run shot off Ramon Martinez. Now, folks, the good news is the Rockies have a 2-run lead. Bad news is we got a long ways to go. Pitch out. Piazza throws, not in time. Boy, Mike took a long time to get rid of that one.
He did. Eight stolen bases for the club today. They have shattered the old mark. You know, look at how much time he takes. It looked like he had a little bit of trouble getting that ball from the glove to the hand.
1 ball, no strikes. 2-0.
Good thing there, Dave, is Galarraga now can concentrate on hitting. He doesn't have to worry about Bichette over at first. Is he going to go? When's he going to go?
I can't tell you the exact stolen base record in the major leagues, but I think it's around 13. And the catcher was a guy named Branch Rickey, who later became one of baseball's greatest executives. Galarraga tied up on a splitter, 2-1. I believe Branch was catching for the St. Louis Browns or the Yankees. It involved them, and it was a long time ago. It was back in the teens or before. Somebody stole 8 bases earlier this year. I think it was the Cincinnati Reds against the Mets. Galarraga is befuddled with that splitter right now. Nomo's got to make him look bad on it. Making him look bad. 2-2, 2 outs. Rockies with a 4 spot here in the 4th. Nomo, I'm sure, working his last inning as he's due to hit second. And he got him, so Nomo continues to give Cat some problems. But the Rockies strike for 4. We're through 4. Fun's just beginning, folks. Greg Gagne will lead off against Roger Bailey. Pinch hitter was out on deck. I thought for Nomo, but I don't see anybody in the on deck circle now, so we'll see. Nope, Nomo's coming out. Well, all 4 of those runs were unearned because of the DeShields error. Gagne takes a ball. So Bailey has a lead as we go to the 5th inning. Roger's been pretty darn effective. He got a key out in the 3rd inning, getting DeShields, and pitched pretty well, save for a home run by Karros in the 4th. Roger got to throw strikes. You got to get the Gagnes out. You know the other guys are going to be a problem. 2 balls, no strikes.
DeShields has been talking about wanting a new long-term contract with the Dodgers. This is his last year, but boy, after a play like we just saw, he hasn't exactly helped his own cause.
Strike called. They have a young second baseman named Adam Rigg that they feel is their second baseman of the future, but I think he's in San Antonio this year, AA ball. Gagne should be playable. Dante, a little bit of a late break. EY takes it. So Eric did a good job of tracking that. Outs are like gold at Coors Field, and you can't afford to let anybody have more than their allotted 27.
Platinum.
Nomo will hit for himself. He had a double, an RBI double his last time up. Breaking ball, strike, 0-1.
Well, the Orioles polished off New York, Dave, 9-1 to pull to within 4.5 of the lead in the East in the American League. And Brady Anderson hit his 27th home run today. He leads the American League. In fact, leads the major leagues.
Yep. Sosa hit 26 yesterday. Don't know what Sammy's done yet. We'll get the results when that game is final. Sammy 1-1 to Nomo is a pretty good swing, but he misses 1 and 2.
That's your favorite name when doing Harry, isn't it? Sammy Sosa. Holy cow.
Now that Gary Templeton has retired, because he used to have some trouble with Templeton and Pendleton. No more down on strikes. So Bailey continues to pitch well.
That was his third strikeout, so he's provided some fireworks, and you can check it out on July 11th. King Soopers Coca-Cola sponsoring this year's fireworks display following the game against the Padres. Get your tickets by calling that number, 1-800-388-ROCK.
They have two fireworks displays here. One on July 3rd when the Colorado Silver Bullets play here. Hope you're planning on getting your tickets for that. Available at all Rockies ticket outlets, dugout stores, King Soopers. First pitch to Fonville, misses, 1-0. Chad's been a little bit pesky today. A couple of hits and 3 trips. Got a couple of balls up in the zone that he lofted in front of the Rocky outfielders. 2-0.
Getting back to that situation at second base for the Dodgers, Dave. They might be thinking, well, we give a long-term contract to Shields. We don't know about that. We could plug the gap with Fonville for a little while until that guy you mentioned in Double-A is ready.
You know, Roger in danger of walking Chad. You don't want to do that. You got to make him swing the bat. I don't think he could put it on a batting tee and hit it out of the ballpark. Maybe if you let him use a Titleist.
Make sure it's marked properly, though.
Ooh, Greg Norman. And a walk. So Fonville draws the walk off Bailey. Presented that small target, and Roger couldn't get one in. Well, the Shields has got some making up to do. His error was very costly in the 4th.
He also made 2 of the 3 outs in the Dodgers' 5-run third.
Bailey pays attention to Fonville. Chad stole a base back in the 1st inning. The Rockies pitched out, but Thompson made Owens jump for the pitch, so they really lost the shot they had at Fonville. Roger goes over again.
We've seen some stolen bases in this game.
Ooh, Montreal rallied to beat Philadelphia 6-5. They were down 5-3 going to the 9th. Expos have won 7 games when they've trailed after 7 innings this year to lead the major leagues. Shields looks at strike 1.
Kind of makes their guy Felipe Alou the front runner for manager of the year in the National League, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
The halfway point.
He's one of 2 managers that we talk about often that have the utmost respect in their clubhouses, and the other one is managing in the Rockies dugout. Jayhawk pitches out, nothing going this time. There is something to be said for a little bit of intimidation. Baylor's size, his reputation. Felipe Alou has always been a total no-nonsense guy as well. Fonville will chat with Reggie Smith over at first base.
Who was the best manager you played for?
I think as far as preparation and running the game, etc., was a guy who never really had a lot of success named Preston Gomez, who managed in San Diego. Also enjoyed playing for Don Zimmer, but that was such a brief half season in San Diego because I got traded.
That was another thing that made Zim such a good manager, his wisdom in getting rid of players that really didn't help the club. I just couldn't resist.
That's all right. The Padres got $25,000 when they traded me. They got $75,000 for Freddie Norman when they sold him to the Reds that same year, and they used that $100,000 to pay for Dave Winfield's bonus. So I always feel like I made a contribution.
There you go.
Frank Funk going to come out and have a little chat with Raj. I think basically it has to do with make this guy swing the bat because the guy on deck will swing the bat.
Yes, he will. Seems like Piazza's on deck every other batter.
Well, like I said, I'm sure on the other side with Vin Scully and Ross Porter and Rick Monday, they keep thinking that it's always Burks, Bichette, Galarraga, Castilla, not to mention Eric Young starting off an inning. 2 balls and a strike to Delino DeShields. And it's a ball. 3-1.
You can almost hear the crowd groan.
You can almost feel the sawdust being squeezed out of Mike Piazza's bat. He had DeShields 3-1 last time and got him on a comebacker. A strike. This will activate Fonville. I think Galarraga will play behind the runner, and he will. This will allow Cat to have a little more range on a ground ball hit down that way. Base hit to right. Dante has to play it on a hop, and Fonville will race around to third. Well, at least he made him swing the bat. So DeShields gets a hit, and here comes Mr. You-Know-Who. Piazza's batting for the 4th time, and it's the 5th inning. Bailey struck him out last time off as Roger made a series of good pitches to him.
Well, with the way Karros is swinging, he has home runs in his last 2 at bats, even though you have a base open. I know it's not first base. You can kind of pitch around Piazza, but then you load him up for Karros, who's gone deep twice. So it's like choose your poison.
Piazza with 3 home runs last night, a solo shot today, line out to right and a strikeout. For the first, and DeShields leans back in. Maybe a little war of attrition here. Bailey probably not in any huge hurry to pitch to Piazza. Maybe he figures if he makes Mike stand there long enough, he'll get a little out of focus. Yeah, let's just sit and watch it. Hard off the fence. Burks plays it well, and they're going to have to hold DeShields, and Piazza is held to a long single. So here come the Dodgers. It's 8-7. Darren Holmes starts throwing in the Rockies pen. Long single for Piazza off the fence. Well played by Ellis Burks.
Maybe the longest single I've ever seen.
Karros hit one the other day and tried to stretch it into a double, and Burks threw him out by 20 feet.
Piazza didn't even try.
Piazza with 2 RBIs, 8 in the last 2, and here's Karros. Time called. And Don Baylor may want to see the Darren Holmes curveball here. Now, Bailey's given him good work over the last 2 nights, but Don knows he could be out of gas by now. So Holmes will come on. And we will return. Darren Holmes appears for the 2nd night in a row. Darren is worked 35 2/3, 36 strikeouts. And I think Don Baylor just wanted to give Eric Karros a different look. Karros had homered off Bailey his last time up. Good job by Roger, though. He came in and got a big out in the 3rd. Did give up a solo homer to Karros. Probably if he made one mistake, it was walking Chad Fonville here with 2 outs. Fonville's been on base 3 times today. The way the Dodger middle of the order is swinging, you know they're going to do some damage, but if you can keep the guys in front of them off the bases, the damage is minimized somewhat.
Well, Don Baylor has said, Dave, that the thing he really likes about Roger Bailey is he never complains. He goes out there every time you want to give him the ball. He doesn't act tired. He gives you everything he's got. And Bailey stemmed the tide from the 3rd. And now let's see if Holmes can do the same here in the 5th.
Karros struck out in the 1st inning, but homered his next 2 at bats. Fastball wide, 1-0. Breaking ball, strike, and a good one. One thing that Holmes does not have to worry about is a runner at first base, Mike Piazza. He won't run anyway, and with a torn cartilage, not going to be trying to steal a base. Curve and just off the corner. But Jerry Lane, you have to wait. Good looking breaking ball though, but it was just outside. Great curve. 2-2. I tell you, Karros knows that he's going to see curveballs, but Holmes, when he throws the good one, it's almost unhittable. Just missed. Full count. This will activate Piazza off first. Don't think you're going to see a fastball there. And Karros had a pretty good swipe at that curve. Holmes left it up a little bit, and Eric Karros tried to drive that to right center. 3-2, 2 outs. Rockies lead 8-7 on a Sunday afternoon at Coors. Mondesi would follow if Karros reaches. Walked in. So they're loaded for Raul Mondesi.
Every ball game has its key moments. This is certainly one of them.
I know. It's one thing about a game here. There's key moments almost every inning. Mondesi struck out his last time up. He has a solo homer sandwiched in between a fly out to left and the strikeout. One ball, no strikes. No place to put Mondesi. Breaking ball hammered to center. Goes McCracken going back. Quinton can't get it off his glove. Looks like the Dodgers will score 3 as Karros is coming, and Mondesi has a triple, and the Dodgers lead 10-8.
Well, he scorches this one. I thought McCracken was going to get it for just a second. That's off the end of the bat. McCracken, oh boy, another inch. And he flags that one down, and that's the inning. Instead, as I say, a game of inches. It's a triple for Raul Mondesi. It clears the bases, and it gives the Dodgers the lead by 2.
Well, I was right about one thing today. Here's the pitch to Blowers. I said it was definitely going to take double figures to win, and we're officially at that point.
First one to 13.
Nah, 13 won't do it. Here's Blowers. Holmes ahead 0-1. Half swing, but he went 0-2. Well, let's see. For the 3rd time today, we will make the pronouncement. It's time to stop the bleeding.
All this with 2 outs.
Ball gets away from Jayhawk, but not far enough, and it's a strikeout. So they get out Flowers at first base. So the Dodgers put up a 4 spot, all with 2 outs and nobody on base. Well, time for comeback number 3 in the game. Rockies trail 10-8 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Vinny Castilla, Jayhawk Owens, and Quentin McCracken. And Nomo still out there. Steve Reed throwing for the Rockies as Holmes is due to hit 4th. 1 ball, no strikes.
Can you start keying in on Nomo's fastball? Because obviously he's having trouble with that split-fingered pitch. He's bounced a lot of them.
He has, but he's thrown some excellent ones to Galarraga.
Yes, he has.
1-0 to Vinny. Ground ball left side. There's a start.
There we go again.
You know, that area that they wet down in front of home plate, the game has taken so long that the sun has dried it out. So it's not really effective now. So ground balls are going to be starting to pick up speed. You can only wet it so much. I mean, if you turn it into a swamp, I don't think the umpires are going to let you get away with that.
No. You need to come up with some sort of underground irrigation system to water it during the game.
Jayhawk stays off. They'll appeal, and what does that mean? Nothing, I guess. These umpires have got an entirely new set of signs that I haven't seen. Runge just put the left hand out, which means I guess a ball. Goes to the right. It's a strike. Yeah, about time for Jayhawk to park one and tie it up here. Had a good swing. 1-1.
He did. Houston beat New York today, Dave, 9-3, but Bagwell did not have any runs batted in, despite the Astros getting 9 runs. He is still stuck at 73. Bichette is pulled away now with 3 RBIs today, a 79 on the year. He has also set a club record for most RBIs in a month.
Certainly has.
38.
Broke his own record. 35 last July. Jayhawk late on the heater, 1-2.
I was adding that up. If you average 35 runs batted in every month of the season, you'll have well more than 200 for the year.
210. That'd be a major league record. Hack Wilson, 190 is the record, 1930. Well, Jayhawk's got to go Scuffle City and see if he can hit one hard somewhere. Outside, 2-2. Baylor has not started Castilla yet at first base.
Despite Vinny's speed.
I know it. Can't understand it. Rockies have 8 stolen bases in 4 innings. And it's low, 3-2.
Probably a go here, don't you think, even with nobody out?
I think so.
Those are the decisions a manager has to make. Owen's not exactly your best contact hitter.
No.
Vinny not your best runner, despite his protestations to the opposite. But Nomo has that slow delivery.
Not going, and Jayhawk fouls it off. Count stays 3-2. Well, we're at the 2-hour and 20-minute mark, but it has been anything but dull.
That's true. Again, it's important that the Rockies have the last at bats.
And either even or not trailing by much. Todd Worrell's got awfully good stuff. And a walk. So here we go. Yeah, what do you do with Q? Have him sacrifice. We see it looks like Milt Thompson coming up to move into the on-deck circle. So far, no sign of activity in the Dodger bullpen. Remember, Vinny, not a real speedster, so if McCracken doesn't make a good bunt, pretty good chance you might be able to get him. But I think Don feels if he can get the sacrifice down, he's got Thompson and Eric Young to take a shot at tying the game. One ball, no strikes. Nomo's allowed 8, but 4 of them are unearned due to the DeShields error back in the 4th inning. Nomo looking around. Throw through to second, but Castilla back. Again, that's the one danger. That runner at second base fears. But Vinny got back, and the count's 2-0 on Quentin McCracken, and out comes Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, while the bullpen starts going to work. Looks like it may be Chan-Ho Park again. Seen a lot of that Dodger bullpen. When they came to town, their ERA was a major league best 2.4. Entering today after 3 days at Coors, 3.10.
Dodgers also as a team led the National League. The 3.09 earned run average. They are now second to Atlanta in the National League. 3.42 now for the Dodgers. They have picked up almost a half run on their earned run average. And they will pick up more than a half run after today. Although, as Dave mentioned, just 4 of the runs earned so far here today. But does anybody believe the Rockies are going to stop at 8? I don't.
No. There's one other question to be considered, though.
Does anybody believe the Dodgers will stop at 10?
No. Two balls, no strikes. Liner, base hit. They're going to have to hold up Castilla. I'll tell you, the Rockies, if DeShields catches that, it's a double play for sure, and maybe a triple play, but it just got over the leaping DeShields, and the bases are loaded.
Well, again, with the second baseman DeShields in double play depth, this one gets over his head, and Vinny's kind of caught in no man's land over there. He's got to make sure that gets through, and now, well, the momentum going back towards the bag. He's got no shot, even though the ball's hitting the gap. Not through the gap, but into the gap, and right center's got no chance. But the bases are loaded for Thompson.
No, good time for Milt to get his first Rockies hit here. Bases loaded, nobody out. You see his career numbers. Milt, the veteran.
Thompson, Dave, hasn't hit it out of the infield in a long time. This is a chance for him to break that spell, and that's exactly what he wants to do, is get it out of the infield.
Bases are 4, F-O-R, full of Rockies. In the dirt, good stop by Piazza. 1-1, the count to Milt Thompson. Milt, formerly with the Dodgers, they put him on waivers and then acquired Wayne Kirby, and the Rockies picked him up off the waiver wire. Milt was down in Mexico taking a little time off. As we look at Castilla, Owens, McCracken. Jayhawk the tying run, McCracken the go-ahead. Fouled at the plate, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Nomo wants a strikeout or a double play ball. Foul back. Milt had a hack at a high pitch. #100th pitch of the game coming for Hideo Nomo. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Romo and Milt Thompson. Struck him out. Got him on the corner. Looked pretty good at first glance.
Thompson doesn't believe it, but it's right where Piazza sets up.
Yeah.
He didn't move his glove.
No, that's a strike. Well, Eric Young, who's been a thorn in his former teammate's side the entire series, has a big chance to hurt him again. Eric has singled, walked, stolen 4 bases, scored 2 runs. He has 10 hits in the series.
Rockies, they need to get at least 1 out of this. At least.
1 ball, no strikes.
Load him up with nobody out. You want to make him pay.
I don't think Don Baylor's thinking about 1 here.
I don't either.
Corner, 1-1. That was a big call, because if Nomo's behind 2-0, then Ewy's really in the driver's seat. Two balls and 1 strike.
Padres now winning 5-1 over San Francisco. That one in the 4th.
Two-one pitch, way outside, 3-1.
Where to put him?
Well, Eric's in a favorable position here. Dave Wallace can do nothing but look down. Eric can really afford to zone a pitch. He fouled it off, 3-2.
He had it right where he wanted it.
Yep. He was trying to find that alley in right center. Well, there's Nomo go fastball again. He really hasn't come close on the splitter to Ey. Three and 2. Another critical juncture in this ball game. Slowly hit. Gagne to second for 1, back to first, not in time. The Rockies do get a run. Well, it's a fielder's choice, an RBI for Eric Young, and a base open at second, a chance to steal again, but at least he put it in play too slowly for the double play.
Well, with Ey running, absolutely no chance really for the Shields. And I'm not sure if Ey kind of stepped on the foot of Karros when he went by or what, but Karros came off the bag kind of funny. I think Ey stepped on his ankle.
I think the trainer is going to come out and chat with Karros. Well, probably fortunate he didn't get his Achilles severed there.
I'm all right. Going back. Saying, come on, Roomie. We were buddies in the minor leagues. What'd you do that for?
I don't think it was intentional by Eric Young.
It was just. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
Well, it's 10-9. One more hit gets us both teams in double figures. Walt Weiss had a big 2 RBI double back in the 4th inning. Well, is Eric Young going to steal his 5th base of the day here?
Yep.
Current major league record since 1900. They tell us is 6 stolen bases by Otis Nixon. I thought Eddie Collins stole 7 bases one time, and that was after the turn of the century, but that's what we have been told. Weiss looks at a strike as Nomo drops the splitter over.
Our crack crew looked up the info on stolen bases for a team in a game. The record, the major league record, is 15 by the Yankees in 1911.
That was against the Browns and Rickey.
Yep.
Had the right guy. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a strike, and Eric steals another base.
That was
easy. 5th stolen base of the day for Eric Young, and no throw, but Weiss down in the count now, 0-2.
Well, he has now tied to Shields for the league lead in stolen bases.
Weiss stays off the splitter, and a ball. Saw Piazza look like he was walking to the dugout.
So was Nomo. The National League record for team stolen bases in a game, set by the Giants in 1912 and the Cardinals in 1913. They each had 11.
The Rockies have 9 today. But they need a big hit right here. Fastball high, 2-2.
Nomo really not throwing close to the velocity he had early in the game.
Well, but he's still got that splitter dancing pretty good.
Yeah, he does.
Splitter. So the Rockies do a lot of things in the inning, but the end result is they only put a 1 up there, so the Dodgers continue to lead after 5 full. So Steve Reed becomes the 4th Rockies pitcher of the afternoon. It's been Thompson, Bailey, and Holmes. Dodgers will send up the bottom third of their order. Hollingsworth, Gagne, and then the pitcher spot due, but now there is activity in the Los Angeles bullpen. So there's appears that Nomo will be getting at least, the worst he can do is get a no decision, because the Rockies will not be able to beat him, as he has pitched 5 innings and has a 10-9 lead. Todd Hollingsworth, he's 1 for 3 this afternoon. Well, Nomo showed his mettle in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he got 2 key strikeouts and an infield grounder. 1 run scored on the ground ball. A strike to Hollingsworth. 1-1. Cubs shut out Cincinnati today, 6-0 behind Steve Traxel. Montreal rallied with 3 in the 9th to beat the Phillies 6-5. Traxel pitched a 4-hitter in that game. Hollingsworth fouls back, 1-2. Top half of the 6th. No, there weren't any delays or anything, folks. It's just one of those Sunday afternoon games. Been a tremendous number of runs scored in this series. Hollingsworth down the left field line, but foul. Let's see, we had 23 last night. 19, 23, and 19 is 42. 14 on the first night is 56, and 17 is 73. 73 runs scored. Right?
Yeah. It's a good golf score.
Yeah. Hollingsworth again fouled out of play. Count stays 1-2 to Todd Hollingsworth. Well, obviously Piazza, Karros, Mondesi have all had huge hits today. One of the problems for the Rockies, though, is Chad Fonville has made base 3 times and DeShields 2. So the table setters have done their work. Hollingsworth sprays it foul again. I think Steve needs to throw something down and into Hollingsworth the way he's running across the plate there to hit foul balls. Seattle has the early lead on Texas 2-0 in the 4th. Sterling Hitchcock pitching for the Mariners today. High and deep. Dante back and looking up, and it's gone.
Yes.
Well, he came in, but not far enough. So another inning when there won't be a 0 up.
It's 4 in a row now for the Dodgers. The Rockies have had 4 in a row.
Dodgers have gone 5-1, 4-1 now. The Rockies beginning in the second have gone 1-3, 4-1. It all adds up to 11-9 for LA.
Well, this is one of those. This is a Coors Field home run, folks.
Now, there's been some of those today, for sure.
A couple of them.
Gagne dribbles it foul.
Castilla had one.
Yeah. Karros' first home run. The second one was legit. Piazza's home run was certainly legit. Bichette's, I think that had been gone at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
11-9. Gagne takes a breaking ball, missing. 1-1. Juan Castro has come out on deck to hit for Hideo Nomo.
We get into the Dodger bullpen.
1-2. It'll be Chan-Ho Park again. He had a tough outing last night.
The only guy really that's been very effective for them out of their bullpen has been Todd Worrell.
Osuna actually has pitched pretty well. He gave up a fairly cheap home run last night. But Worrell has shown the ability. The fan makes a good play.
Real good play. That thing was skimming down the screen up in the upper deck, and he got it just before it went below that screen. I always get a little nervous when I see fans leaning out over that barrier.
Got him. Very unusual strike call by Jerry Lane, but nonetheless a strikeout for Reed. Here's Castro. Reed delivers, and it's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Rockies have 3, 4, and 5 coming up in the 6th inning. Dodgers currently lead by 2. Got him on a breaking ball. 1-1. Well, let's see if there's anything new out of the American League. Not really, unless you just tuned in. Boston beat the Tigers 9-4. Matchup of the two teams with the worst record in the American League. Castro swings and misses. Strike 2.
Fun weekend, though, because there are a lot of 1-2 combinations going this weekend.
A lot of rivalries.
Yep.
Interdivision rivalries finally.
Baltimore, New York going, Texas, Seattle going, Cleveland, Chicago going in the American League. They're all 1-2 in their divisions.
Outside 2-2.
National League, of course, the West is going head to head.
Padres ahead 6-1 in the 5th. Giants, unless they rally, are on their way to their 10th straight defeat.
We're going to be in a surly mood when we arrive.
Got him on strikes, so Reed strikes out Castro, the pinch hitter. Here's Chad Fonville. I'm getting laughed at in the booth, folks. The leader misses. Roll it up there, Steve. Don't walk him.
Can we get you a shopping cart?
Yeah. Like the bag lady. A little rummaging through the wastebasket. And throw a strike, please, Steve. 2-0. Editorial comment here on the play-by-play. Yes.
Yeah.
Doing my Chicago White Sox broadcaster impersonation. Yes.
Put it on the board.
2-1. Anytime you think Dave and I are leaning a little bit towards homers, folks, you can check out a few other broadcasts. Galarraga secures it, and that'll do it. Our lead homer by Hollingsworth. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Dodgers by 2.
Here's today's game summary brought to you by Bank One. Dodgers winning by 2. Karros has hit a couple of solo home runs. In fact, all 5 of the home runs for the Dodgers have been solo varieties, while the Rockies have set a new stolen base record with 9, and Eric Young has 5 of those 9, and he is now tied for the league lead with 26 stolen bases on the year. Here's Chan-Ho Park. He will start the 6th inning for the Dodgers.
We all the way up to the 6th?
Yes, we are.
Man,
already.
Time flies when you're having fun. Moving on 3 hours on this one.
This is the first time that Nomo hasn't worked into the 6th inning in his last 12 starts.
You know, he worked hard enough in his first 5.
He did.
I'll tell you what, though, I will say one thing for Nomo. He never gave in. He battled and battled and battled, and he's got a chance to get a win.
Gave up 5 earned runs. That's the most that he's given up this year. 4 was his previous high, and he had done that on 6 different occasions.
1 ball, no strikes to Ellis Burks. Park came on last night, plagued by wildness, and giving up a long home run to Dante Bichette to straightaway center. Burks hammers this one to center field. Going back is Hollingsworth, and nope. 11-10. Ellis Burks goes straightaway center. Welcome to relief, and Coors Field, Chan-Ho.
It's unbelievable. Oh man, Ellis Burks. Yes, sir. The E-train is cooking again. That's his 21st home run of the year. That matches his career high. We have not yet reached the halfway point in this season, and Ellis Burks has just matched his career high for home runs in a year.
Well, I can only think of the immortal words of Curtis Liskanen. He said, "My only advice to the other team is when they come to Coors Field, tell their pitching staff to pack a lunch, because it's going to be a long day." Bichette, right center. It's not going to be caught, and it's into the alley. It'll be at least 2 for Dante as Mondesi polices it up.
Both teams now in double figures. Dante Bichette with 3 more hits today. Oh, he just rips that one into the gap. Galarraga, the only guy without a hit today. I think he'll hit one now that Mr. Nomo is out of the contest. Nomo just ate Galarraga alive with that split-fingered pitch.
I think you'll see some breaking balls from Park, though. Oh, Chan-Ho just decided to drive through a little harder. One and nothing to Cat. Two and nothing. Vinny would be next. How many home runs in this one, partner? 5 solos for the Dodgers. How many of the Rocks got?
Let's see. Burks has 1, Bichette has 1, and Castilla has 1.
9, same as last night. No, 8. Sorry, my math's getting bad again.
Yeah, I tell you what.
3 and nothing. But I tell you, I have a philosophy in broadcasting: 3 hours maximum concentration. We're moving in on 3. We're going to have to really dig deep in the resources here, folks.
Yeah.
We're only in the 6th. The green light is flashing, but no chance. It wasn't close.
They're up in the bullpen again. You guys are just shaking their heads saying, what time does that charter leave? Scott Radinsky starts to warm up.
I wonder if it's ever going to come to the point at Coors Field that the phone rings in the bullpen and nobody ever answers it.
I'm sorry, he stepped out for a pizza. He's not available right now. Vinny had 1 today. We told you about that in the 2nd inning. Let's show it to you again. Hideo Nomo. This is a Coors Field home run. About 380 feet.
Back to live action. Castilla looks at a strike. 0-1. I don't think Vinny's going to be bunting as hot as he's been swinging. In fact, Gene Glynn's not even bothering giving him a sign. Dante goes. Vinny Flowers down to second for one. Back to first. They get a double play, and with Dante running, Flowers covering, he ran right into it. Amazing bad luck for the Rockies there. Otherwise, that's a double if Dante's not running. Well, they've been running all day, and they finally got burned.
Kind of a staggered start, and you're right, with Flowers moving over towards the line, he's able to pick that one off and start the double play.
Okay, the Rockies have done everything, but they've only led once.
That's right.
They keep coming back and looking like they're going to have huge innings, but something crazy happens.
They led 1-0 after 2.
1 ball, no strikes to Jayhawk.
Don't put it past Park to throw one by Piazza either. Bichette needs to stand his toes down there at third.
Dante had third base stolen in his hip pocket, but Blowers running over to cover ran right into the ball. Otherwise, that's down in the corner for a double. Strike called. Jayhawk had kind of a funny approach to that pitch, like he was going to take it all the way. Jayhawk hacked with a man down on third.
Take a pitch, Jay. I'm just kidding. He's got it. You got to be swinging. Guy at third. You got to go.
1-2.
I think he was probably with John Ho Park's wildness, maybe thinking I'll take a strike.
Gagne loads it up and just gets it. So the Dodgers dodge a bullet after the homer. We're through 6 full. Close, entertaining, wild.
Well, we move now to the 7th inning. Steve Reed still out there for the Rockies. Delano DeShields will lead off for the Dodgers. We talked about in this series about maybe trying to do something that would help the Rockies as they go on the road. They've had a terrible time on the road, and we talked about maybe taking a piece of the sod from Coors Field. And your name is?
Dick Rupel.
Dick, and you've brought some of the Coors Field sod. You grow this at where?
Actually, this comes from Randy Graff from Graff Turf Farms, and this is actually a piece of the sod that was grown at Randy's farm. Was installed here at Coors Field, and we'd like to present this to the Colorado Rockies, and hopefully they can have just as good as luck on the road as they do here.
All right, we will accept this gladly, and we will take it down to the clubhouse, take it on the trip to San Francisco and Los Angeles, and hopefully it can bring the Rockies some good luck. Thanks, guys, for coming on up. We appreciate it. Well, we're looking forward to seeing if that can change the Rockies' fortunes on the road as we take a piece of Coors Field with us. And the Rocky Mountain Sod Growers Association, we thank Dick Rupel and Randy Graff and the executive director Donna Ralston. We will take this grass with us, and any special what do we need to do? Do we need to water it, or is it we're just going to have to try to do the best we can to keep it as green as possible the rest of the year?
Coors Field. So once we get it to you guys, then you have to consult Mark Rasm to take care of this.
You got it. DeShields hits it in the air to right field. Bichette's got it. One gone in the Dodgers 7th. Thanks again. So some of the Coors Field sod's going to be heading west to San Francisco later today. Mike Piazza now the batter. The last time that Reed faced Piazza, and you see what Mike has done against Steve Reed with the 4 home runs. Reed with 2 strikes tried to go inside and plunked him on the elbow. Right there, he just busts a fastball right through there. 11-10 our score. The Dodgers in the lead by 1. Piazza, he has 2 runs batted in today, a solo home run and a single. Here's a little blooper. Bichette's got this one. 2 quickly gone here in the Dodgers 7th. Could it be the Dodgers retired in order? Hasn't happened yet today. Hey, your flagship station, Denver's 2, gives you the defining word and how the game is played. Watch the Don Baylor Show coming up right after today's contest on your great sports station. 10 vs. 2. Eric Karros the batter with 2 out, nobody on. Karros has scored 3 times. He has 2 solo home runs. Well, Reed's just firing BBs right now. What a big lift this would be to the team if Reed can mow down this part of the Dodger order in order. Fly ball, lazy fly into center field. How about this, folks? The Dodgers go 1, 2, 3. Wow. Stretch time at Coors. The sod's already working. It's 11-10 Dodgers. Quentin McCracken to face Scott Radinsky as the Rockies come to bat in the 7th. McCracken will switch around and bat from the right side. Tries to lay down a bunt and bunts it foul.
A 0.
How about that?
A 0 on the
and
top
in
of
order.
And right after the sod arrived.
That's exactly right. That's what I said. The
an
sod is already working. Not even on the road yet.
Well, we have good news. Dan McGinn, the clubhouse man of the Rockies, says, "You bring that down here, we'll take it with us."
All righty.
All right, Chico.
Chico is going to be the caretaker of the sod from Coors.
Clumps to Coors.
Yeah, I like that. Clumps to Coors.
Coors clumps. Or the Rockies magic carpet. Like that.
Yeah. Go on a magic carpet ride.
Or players are welcome to come up with their own name for it.
There you go.
Which is even better. If they name it, they'll like it better.
That's right. I'll tell Larry Walker to come up with a name.
Well, Larry's got to do the little things now that he's on the disabled list. Got to do the little things, Larry. I know you're not used to that, being a star.
Ball 3. Radinsky's had trouble throwing strikes.
You're a utility guy, and the last few years I've played, 24th, 25th, or heaven forbid, the 26th player. Man, you talk about doing the little thing. You take the luggage, batting practice, emergency catcher. You do anything to stay in the show.
3-1 pitch is over for a strike. I remember the 6th man on our tennis team in college. It was a close battle between he and another fellow to see who would get the 6th spot. We all voted for the guy that eventually got the spot because he had the best collection of music back when they used the old 8-tracks. And when we went on the road trips, he was our designated disc jockey. There goes McCracken.
Well, the one thing the Dodgers have done pretty well today is not strikeouts. They have 11. And the Rockies have made 19 outs. So when the Rockies hit it, something good happens. But that's one thing the Dodgers have is a lot of power pitchers that can get the strikeouts.
Trinidad Hubbard now will bat in the pitcher's spot. So Reed is done for the day and did a good job giving up just the solo home run to Todd Hollandsworth in his 2 innings of work. After that solo home run, he retired 6 straight. Breaking ball over for a strike to Trinidad Hubbard. Hubbard walked with the bases loaded as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night. And a ball and a strike.
Pinsky is throwing the ball pretty hard today.
As a pinch hitter, you see Hubbard sub 200. That one just a little bit high, and it's 2-1. 11-10 our score. The Dodgers took the lead in the 3rd with 3 solo home runs and 5 runs in the inning. Swing, no contact, 2-2. Rockies played catch up since that 3rd. Rockies only lead 1-0 after 2 on Vinny Castilla's solo home run. Fly ball into the corner in right field, and Mondesi, what a catch. Boy, that's a play, folks. You got to applaud that. That's about as good a major league catch you're going to see.
Absolutely terrific by Mondesi, Gold Glove winner in the National League last year, and shows why. I'll tell you, for all the things that have happened in this game today, the key play has been with Bichette running. And Vinny Castilla hit a ball headed for the left field corner, and Blowers, running over to cover third, ran right into it, and the Dodgers got a double play. And since then, the Rockies have not had a runner.
Nope. Eric Young has been on 3 times. He has 1 hit. Officially, he is 1 for 3 today, and he also has 5, count them, 5 stolen bases. On the ground to Gagne. Oh! Gagne lets it go under his glove.
Now Gagne charged it, wanted to grab it on the backhand side to load up the throw because he knew EY was running well, but the ball never came up. It stayed down. Maybe a little tougher to steal a base, though, against Radinsky. And that ball just never came up. So that is the 3rd error of the day on the Dodgers.
Dave, unlike DeShields, who basically got lazy, didn't get in front of the ball, you're right. Gagne was trying to set up for the throw on Eric Young.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how close the play was on Jayhawk Owens last inning. Gagne plays a deep shortstop. On a ball that's hit relatively slowly, he figured he had to hurry it.
Weiss takes a ball up high. 2 outs. Eric Young on at first base.
Well, Curtis Liskanek will be the next Rockies pitcher. Steve Reed gave up a solo homer, but got through that mid part of the order and put up an important 0 in the 7th inning.
Fouled off by Weiss, a ball and a strike.
Really don't know too much about Radinsky's move. Again, he's spent most of the time in the American League, and in the series, I don't think he's gone over to first base. I guess the worst case scenario, though, is if EY gets picked off or thrown out, you do have Weiss, a great on base man, leading off the 8th.
Piazza hasn't exactly shown great ability to throw well, and I think Eric Young might have had that one stolen too. Had a good jump. Weiss fouled it off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
EY might be a little tired after this one today. Didn't rest on the flight, and he ripped his pants up from sliding.
He'll be a lot less tired if the Rockies come back and win it.
He's gotten on all kinds of ways today. A hit, a walk, a fielder's choice, and an error. So he's found 4 different ways to make base. Only 2 of them help his on base percentage. Fielder's choice doesn't help it, nor reaching on an error. You don't get credit for a mistake by the opposition.
Weiss stays alive, fouling it straight back. Still a ball and 2 strikes. The game in San Francisco is moved now to the 7th. The Padres still beating the Giants 6-2.
Well, we're at the same place, and they started an hour later.
Gagne can't catch up. Young's going to take third base. So the WW boxcar in the middle of the E train, and this table is set for Ellis Burks, who hit a solo home run his last time up.
Time to start delivering some big blows here. The Rockies have battled all day. The Dodgers have battled. It's going to be a matter now who can get the key outs on the mound and who can get the key hits at the plate. Billy Russell going. Tommy certainly picked an inconvenient time to miss. This is a tough place to manage. Certainly glad to hear Tom's doing so much better, though.
Absolutely. Supposed to maybe leave the hospital tonight. That would be great news. He is talking like he wants to rejoin the team when they get back to Los Angeles on Thursday. Here's Ellis Burks. Look at that day. Man, 2 walks, a double, a home run, 2 runs batted in, 3 runs scored.
I think here you definitely have to give Ellis 2 strikes to do something before you risk a running play. Again, Radinsky, without seeing him, he may have a better move than that.
A home run for Burks here, Dave, and the Rockies would get to 13 first.
Yeah.
And 13 might do it.
That's a good addition.
first time today between the two of us. It's a good addition. Up high, 2-0.
Train's in the station. That E-train is in the station, folks. It's starting to rev its engines up a little bit.
Full of coal. We're ready to go. Full of steam. There's a strike. Reach back there and rub that side.
It's okay with Ellis Burks. He was ahead of Rudinsky 2-0, and Scott made a good pitcher's pitch down and away. When you're ahead of a pitcher, you don't want to swing at their pitch.
Swing and a miss.
Rudinsky went outer half again. Maybe Weiss now might entertain thoughts of going, just to get people moving, create holes, maybe upset things.
Base hit could tie it.
A heck of a time for the old sucker play. Nah, Ellis is swinging too good. You got to let him swing.
Now he will be right. 3-2, 2 outs.
Fonville still in the ballpark? Oh yeah, there he is. He's awfully deep there. Chad.
Something in the gap to give the Rockies the lead. Burke stays alive.
It's amazing to me. Maybe it's just a confidence level, but the focus and concentration the Rocky hitters seem to have here. I mean, they don't ever give away in a bat here, but they go on the road. Sometimes it just appears they do. Maybe psychologically they don't think they do.
It's going to change.
Sod.
Clump to Coors. Rips it up the middle, base hit. Great at bat, Ellis Burks. We're tied. Ellie comes through again. The E-train.
Well, Eric Young said he wanted to score at least 3 runs today, and he said, Dante, you got to drive in 5. Dante's sitting with 3. I don't think Eric would mind if Dante knocked in 6 today.
Not at all. Dante Bichette with a 2-run homer, a run-scoring single, and a double. All he needs is the triple for the cycle. The hits and runs are even. Boy, Bichette got out in front of that curveball. Hit it hard, but foul.
L-O-C-K-E-D is Dante Bichette. Earlier against Nomo, high fastball. Nomo struck him out on one that high the first time up. Second time Dante got him.
9 for 19 in the series. 9 runs batted in. Broken bat, Looper. The Rockies have the lead. Wow. Bichette now with 80 runs batted in on the year.
Fastball up. Dante got jammed. May have cracked the bat, but again, you get the ball airborne here, and you got a heck of a chance for a hit.
Again, all these runs unearned. All this coming with 2 outs. The ground ball by Eric Young to Greg Gagne. He had to skip under his glove. Young gets on. Then a single by Weiss, a single by Burks, and a single by Bichette. And Galarraga now can punch a big hole in this one. 12-11 Rockies. The Rockies have the lead again for the first time since the 2nd inning. Galarraga 0 for 3 today. But he comes through in this situation. Fouls that one up into the crowd, and it's 0-2 to the Cat.
I think the Rockies led in the 4th inning 8-6. But,
you're right.
But that's it. I don't blame you, partner. It's tough to keep track of it.
You are right. They scored 4 in the 4th.
I only had the advantage of taking my socks off and counting on my toes, so I could tell that.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Galarraga. Strikes out for the 3rd time today, but 2 runs for the Rockies. The E-train back on track, and Dante Bichette puts the Rockies ahead. Raul Mondesi will lead off for the Dodgers. Mike Blowers, Todd Hollandsworth to follow, and this is the guy they'll face, Curtis Leskanic. Leskanic struggled with his control a little bit in his first outing since going on the disabled list, but he did not give up a run in his inning of work on Friday.
6 big outs to go.
2-0. Mondesi with 4 runs batted in today. He was silent coming into this afternoon, just 1 for 12 in the series, but a solo homer and a triple today. That triple came with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. On the ground, Castilla's got a charge and fire, and oh no, Mondesi barely beat it out and then tripped over the bag.
Mondesi has had a bad heel and also had knee surgery in the offseason, and Reggie Smith is going to look at Mondesi.
This doesn't look good for Mondesi.
Nope.
That's why I said oh no, because I saw him trip over that bag, and you hate to see anyone get hurt in this game.
Well, I guess maybe the emotions were rooting too much. I thought first glance that Vinny had gotten him. And boy, bang, bang. It's even in slow motion. It's tough to see. Paul Runge made the call, and Mondesi is stretched out. So a little infield tapper.
Good pitch by Leskanic. Actually, it was up in the zone, but tough for Mondesi to handle. Like he just hit the bag with his toe and then tripped up over the bag.
Well, he's going to try to run it off. He's jogging out there. He's limping somewhat. Sometimes when you got a heel problem, when you land on your toe, you really aggravate the heel. So the Dodgers get the lead man on, and they get a little fortunate hit, but Rockies had a couple of flares last inning.
Mondesi missed 4 games with that heel bruise. He doesn't look 100% as he limps to the bag. This could be the old Jim Brown decoy, though, limp back to the huddle and then run for a touchdown. I don't think so. I think Mondesi is shaken up. Mike Blowers the batter. Blowers today, a couple of walks, a strikeout, and a double. He also has scored a run. Leskanic is having trouble getting on top of that ball, and here comes Don Baylor.
Yeah, Don's going to come out right now. Talk to Curtis about slowing everything down. You know, use your ability, Curtis. Right now, Curtis is just rushing, and he's been up with everything. Even the ball Mondesi hit was about chin high that he beat down on the ground. Nobody in the bullpen, so Don just saying, Curtis, you're my man now. Let's get it together.
Big 8th inning here. Ruffin is rested and ready to go for the 9th.
Well, the other thing is, if you could have gotten the Dodgers 1, 2, 3 here, you'd have a chance of avoiding the big boys. But the more Dodgers get on here, the more you're going to see the other guys in the 9th, no matter what happens here. Curtis has been up with everything. He's got to make an adjustment here. Bruce Ruffin is starting to throw already. But Don doesn't really want to use him for 2 innings.
Skanek has to find his mechanics. He does there.
To a slider. Said to heck with that fastball. I can't control that. Did you say something about Skanek and mechanic and I missed it? Did you?
Yeah.
It's 4:30.
It's beyond your 3-hour limit.
Got to work on the off season and conditioning myself for 3.5.
Go the distance, man.
That's right.
This one lined into right field. Base hit Blowers. Mondesi on the sore heel is going to go to third. So
well,
runners at the corners, nobody out.
Well, the Rockies got 2 cheap hits in the bottom of the 7th, and the Dodgers have come right back to get 2 cheapies here. Blowers hit that right out on the end of the bat. So
Jim Brown standing at third.
yeah, he doesn't have any trouble going from first to third.
No. So Hollinsworth the batter. The Rockies will go for the 2. They'll give up the tying run to get the double play.
Gladly.
Yeah. Fastball high. Hollinsworth has come through in the clutch in these situations. Fouled off into the crowd. Hollinsworth today, a solo home run, a run scoring single. He scored twice himself.
Well, if Curtis could find a way to get 2 strikes on Hollinsworth, he might be able to bury him with a good slider down and in. He's 1-1 right now.
Well, Skanek, when he's healthy and when he's right, a strikeout pitcher, and a strikeout would be huge here. The 1-1 offering down too low.
Stayed off that pitch.
Padres have added another, lead 7-2 over San Francisco. Whoop. We just changed the scoreboard. The Giants have just scored 2 to make it 7-4 in the 7th. 7-4 Padres. Here it's 12-11 Rockies.
You know, we've talked so much about that middle 3 in the lineup, but Mike Blowers has had a very good series. He's been on base 4 times today. He has 6 hits in the series, so he's been going good too. But almost everybody on both sides has been contributing offensively.
Tapped foul. The count evens up at 2-2. And now Curtis can go for the strikeout pitch.
No, Hollinsworth was looking dead red, and Curtis threw him a slider. He was way out in front of him. Curtis
wants time.
Yeah, Curtis kind of looking over at Blowers, and Blowers is not going to run. So don't worry about him, Curtis.
Beat foul again by Hollinsworth.
I'll tell you, one of the things about being an analyst, trying to analyze games like this, I mean, there are so many big moments that just get redundant after a while.
This is yet another one.
I mean, a brilliant analyst would say a triple play would be real good here.
Yeah. High fly ball. Here comes McCracken. Is it deep enough to get the run home? Mondesi running. The throw comes through, cut off by Galarraga. And the tying run is home as Mondesi scores from third, and we're tied at 12.
Well, I thought Blowers made a mistake there. He played it halfway, and had he tagged up, he could have made second, because that throw from McCracken was going to sail over Galarraga's glove and hit off. But when it fumbled out of Galarraga's glove, Blowers was still trotting back to first base. So Mondesi gets an infield hit. Blowers drives him around, and the Dodgers have tied it at 12. Quinton really doesn't have a shot at Mondesi at the plate. And the cutoff throw is just a little too high, and it dribbles off Cat's glove. Had Blowers been tagged, he could have made second.
Greg Gagne, he looks at a strike. Gags is 0 for 3 today. He walked in the second.
Dave Hansen moved out to the on-deck circle initially. He's gone back into the dugout. It could be for another bat. I think Hansen will be the guy. Of course, Rockies do have Ruffin, but it might have to be a double switch if they did it.
Swing and a miss, and quickly 2 strikes on Gagne.
Because Ruffin, if it were just a straight up move, he would be the 4th hitter in the 8th. Rockies have Castilla, Owens, and McCracken scheduled in the 8th inning. They still have a couple of left-handed bats available. 3 if you count switch hitting Jason Bates. They're out of right-handers. Flowers is 0 for 0 in stolen bases.
Roger Cedeno has now moved into that on-deck circle.
Well, that might be because of the switch hitting nature. That might eliminate Don Baylor from bringing Ruffin in. So
the 0-2 pitch, and gone is Gagne. He strikes out for the 2nd time today. Leskanic gets the strikeout, maybe 1 batter late, but still we're tied.
Well, when you have 1st and 3rd, nobody out, you almost say, we'll be happy to give up the tying run if you don't let them have any more than that. There's that good slider by Leskanic breaking straight down.
So Roger Cedeno now to bat with 2 out, and Blowers still on at first. See Cedeno just 1 pinch hit this year. Looking ahead to that Rockies 8th, Dave mentioned that the pitcher's spot comes up 4th. Castillo will lead off, followed by Owens and McCracken.
Antonio Osuna is throwing. And again, the Rockies have quite a few right-handed batters available. I mean, left-handed batters. You might figure that Jeff Reed might be the 2nd hitter in the inning for Jayhawk Owens. But number 1, Curtis has got to get Roger Cedeno out here.
Chase a pitch, maybe a little bit inside. It's a ball and a strike.
Well, you know what it means for the Dodgers having 2 runners on this inning. Looking ahead to the 9th in the number 3 spot. The man followed by the other man followed by the other man. No avoiding. Donde está?
Now it's 3-1. Oh boy. Well, the more guys that get on here, the more of the power guys that will get on or get up in that 9th. Right now, just Piazza.
I don't know that it's a dead certain that Fonville would hit either if Cedeno makes base. They could bring up Hansen. If Baylor countered with Ruffin, they could go to Billy Ashley. So this is an important man. Roger Cedeno has hit a homer this year, but you got to make him swing the bat here.
He does swing it, and now the count full. Blowers will be off and running with a pitch. 3-2, 2 outs. Game in San Francisco now in the 8th inning, 7-4 San Diego. In Seattle, the Mariners continue to lead the Rangers, but it's 4-3 that game in the 6th inning. Everything else except for the Oakland, California, Cleveland, Chicago games are in the books. Those 2 haven't started yet. Cleveland, Chicago will be the big one tonight. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Leskanic comes back to strike out Gagne and Cedeno. The Dodgers get 1 to tie it at 12 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. First one to 13 wins. 12-12 our score.
Number 13 Antonio Osuna is pitching.
Okay.
I'm not sure the first one to 13 wins, but be a good start anyway. Rockies do have the advantage here. They have 6 outs left to the Dodgers 3.
That's right. Vinny Castilla hit a home run off Osuna last night. High fly ball. Converging in right center, Mondesi and Hollingsworth, and Mondesi makes the play. Not quite enough here this afternoon. That'll bring up Jayhawk Owens. Owens today is 1 for 3, a single and a walk. $15 hits for the Dodgers, 14 for the Rockies. Top of the order coming up for LA in their 9th. Owens can't catch up with that one. Strike 1.
Time to look at some of the options Don Baylor might have. He basically doesn't have an outfielder left unless you put Vanderwall in the outfield. Thinking if Jayhawk gets on, he might consider hitting Vanderwall from McCracken.
You can move Burks then to center and Vanderwall to left.
Right now, Jayhawk's down in the count 0-2. Rockies, just like the Dodgers, even if they don't score this inning, they'd like to get some guys on to make sure the middle of their order is going to be up in the 9th.
It changes the bullpen a little bit too with the 12-12 score. You can't just go right to your closer.
You know, if the Rockies would pinch hit for Leskanic, so I'm sure it would be Ruffin. Once you get past the 8th inning anyway, you're not going to have a lead when you bring your closer in anyway. So.
Just hope Ruffin can get out there and shut him down, and then the Rockies just go ahead and win it either here or in the 9th. This one hit into the gap in right center. Mondesi, he dropped it. There goes Owens to second. Hollingsworth and Mondesi got their signals crossed out there, and another error for the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers came in the 3rd best defensive team in the National League, but it has been very costly for them today. Jayhawk hits it. It looked like either one of them could have caught it, and Mondesi just wanted to look. Maybe he saw Hollingsworth flashing in front of him. So there's an error on Mondesi, the 4th one by the Dodgers today. The Rockies do not have any.
So Quentin McCracken now the batter. Vanderwall has moved into that on deck circle. McCracken with a chance to give the Rockies the lead again here in the 8th. 1 out. Jayhawk Owens on at second base. Strike 1 to McCracken. McCracken is 1 for 3 today, but a big at bat for McCracken was in the 4th. When he reached base safely on an error to DeShields, the Rockies went on to get 4 unearned runs in that 4th inning. The Rockies added 2 more unearned runs in the 7th. A little bit outside, a ball and a strike.
Jayhawk Owens got to know where the outfielders are playing to get a good read here. Mondesi and Hollingsworth both throw very well. Fonville and left, maybe not.
Fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes now on McCracken.
Well, if they get Quentin out, then Bill Russell's going to have a decision to make. John Vanderwall, the premier pinch hitter in baseball, perhaps right now, certainly was last year, or Eric Young, who's been a thorn in the side of the Dodgers all weekend long. And plus, if you walk Vanderwall and get to Young, you know you're going to get deeper into the middle of that Rockies order in the 9th.
The 1-2 pitch fouled off again.
Osuna going right after McCracken with fastballs. You know, again, we've talked about this an awful lot. Same holds true for Cedeno and Fonville of the Dodgers and McCracken of the Rockies. When you have a switch hitters, guys that don't have big power, you try to overpower them. And if you have your druthers, you try to get it in on their hands.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Owens on at second. He represents the go-ahead run. Fouled off again.
One thing, Gagne has been playing games with Jayhawk Owens here at second base. Jayhawk's got to have a good lead, but the last thing on the planet Earth that he can do is get picked off here.
That's for sure.
Gagne's just been kind of bluffing in behind. Osuna's looked at Gagne now. He just looked at him again.
If he doesn't get a good jump, it doesn't kill you to have him stop at third. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Up high and outside, 2-2.
Well, Don Baylor's likes one thing he sees in the Dodger bullpen: no left-handers. So he knows he's going to get a free run with Vanderwall. They have left-handers. They have Guthrie and they have Isham, but neither one of them throwing.
That surprise you?
A little bit,
Yeah,
but I don't
too.
know. Maybe both of them said their arms or have had it.
Yeah. The 2-2 pitch. On the ground to Gagne. Owens goes to third, and they throw out McCracken.
Well, Gagne had an outside possibility of getting Owens at third, but when you have one out, you've got to take the sure out. Again, one of the possibilities you have as a shortstop is hitting that runner in the back if you're throwing to third, because he's kind of in your sight of line. So line of sight. So, you know, Gagne, I think, made the right play there.
Owens gets to third base. Here comes Bill Russell.
Yeah, if I'm the Dodger skipper, I don't really know what I do here. You've got Vanderwall, a great fastball hitter, a great pinch hitter. You know, if you walk him, Eric Young's been wearing you out. Plus, you're going to assure yourself that Burks and Bichette are going to hit in the 9th inning. So I don't know that there's any real easy answer here. I often think about a great friend of mine who's since passed away, Bob Miller, got killed tragically in a car wreck. Yogi Berra was the manager with the Mets one time, and he was pitching for New York, and they were playing the Pirates, and Yogi came out to the mound. There was an open base. Parker was up and Stargell on deck. And Yogi gets out to Miller and says, "Well, what do you want to do?" He says, "I don't get paid enough to make that decision." You're the manager.
Let's see what they are going to do. Piazza goes into the crouch. Looks like they're going to pitch to Vanderwall. How they pitch him, that's another story. Maybe they'll pitch around him.
And if you try to pitch around, sometimes you bounce one to the backstop.
Up high, outside, ball 1. Vanderwall looking for a fastball. He's a good fastball hitter. Osuna, a fastball pitcher. Who's going to win the war?
Let's see if the Rockies can make the Dodgers pay for that 4th error.
Upstairs, 2-0. Owens, he represents the go-ahead run. He's at third. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 12. He got the fastball, had a good swing at it, and fouled it back on the screen. 2-1.
Just a little mano-a-mano with Antonio Osuna and John Vanderwall. He said, "I know you're a fastball hitter. I'm a fastball pitcher."
The 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, 3-1.
Looks like what they've decided is they're trying to keep the ball away from Vandy. They're saying if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to go opposite field. And 3 of the 4 pitches have been up and away, and the other one, the Vandy foul back, was a pretty good pitch to hit.
If you're Vandy now, can you look at one in that zone and maybe go the opposite way?
I think Vandy's going to look in his own zone 3-1.
He does, and he hits it high and deep, and you can forget about it. Wow! Is he amazing or what?
Well, Vandy did look in his own zone, and he got one in his own zone, and he knew what to do with it. Three-one fastball. Baya.
No doubt about it. Well, first one to 14, maybe. Thompson gives him a big hug. Baylor goes, "Atta boy, atta boy." Here's Eric Young.
And the Rockies have made the Dodgers pay for every one of those errors.
That's right. 4 errors by the Dodgers.
What's that? 9 home runs in this one now?
That's right.
18 in 2 days.
392 feet on that one. 8 unearned runs for the Rockies today.
Both Rocky pinch hit homers this year have been by Vandy. The other one, of course, against Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, that was that wonderful comeback, and Eric Young has another hit. Well, hey, go ahead and get greedy, guys.
I'll tell you what, when you look at that Dodger 9th inning and know who's coming up, Billy Russell knows this game isn't over yet.
Yep.
His hope is just hold the Rockies here and try to get a couple of guys on for Piazza and Karras in the 9th.
Young with 2 hits today. He has been aboard 5 times. Walt Weiss has a couple of hits today and a couple of key RBIs in the 4th.
Well, ZY with Osuna, who can be stolen on. I think you got to send him.
I do too. Why not?
Again, you get thrown out. You got Weiss leading off the bottom of the 9th if it goes that far.
You still get Burks and Bichette up if it goes that far. Ruffin's ready in the bullpen.
Mike Swanson tells us that was John Vanderwall's 8th career homer, 7th since coming to the Colorado Rockies from the Montreal Expos. Certainly one of Bob Gebhardt's better pickups.
There goes Young. The throw from Piazza. Oh boy, he had a funny slide into second. I hope he's all right. He kind of slid wide of the bag to try to avoid the tag. And Eli gets up. Okay.
Whoa. Just tied the modern major league record of 6 stolen bases by Otis Nixon.
They just flashed that up on the scoreboard. Look at that slide. Yeah.
Man, is he lucky he didn't break his ankle.
No kidding. Ooh. They flashed the record on the scoreboard and they gave him a standing O here at Coors.
Well, Monday the All-Stars that are elected are named. Tuesday the extras. I think EY is trying to make a statement today.
Not only that, but he has taken the lead in the National League in the stolen base department. On the ground, DeShields. He gets in front of this one and throws out Walt Weiss. That'll do it for the Rockies. But John Vanderwall touched the sod, folks. It's working. The Rockies are winning by 2.
Eric Young, 6 stolen bases. Only 2 other men have done that since 1900. And Eddie Collins did it twice in 1912, the American League record, and Otis Nixon had set the National League mark with 6. Prior to 1900, 2 men stole 7 bases in a game, sliding Billy Hamilton, who at one time held the stolen base record before it was broken, and a guy by the name of George Gore. So Eric Young has had himself quite a day.
He'll be a lot less tired now in that charter if the Rockies can hang on to this 2-run cushion in the 9th.
You may have to take him out to the sliding pit, though. I don't know what that slide was.
That was.
I've seen guys break ankles on slides that look better than that.
Here's Bruce Ruffin. You see, going for his 13th save.
Number 13, Antonio Osuna, gave up the home run to Vanderwall, and you could say that if the Dodgers don't here, 13 was enough to win. But meanwhile, 3 big outs to go.
That's right. Switch hitting Chad Fonville to lead off for the Dodgers in the 9th. He has been pesky today. 2 singles and a walk. First pitch from Ruffin sails high and wide.
I think they got to play a little shorter at second and first. Fonville can push a bunt out that way. Vinny's in, but if Fonville gets it past the mound.
There's a strike.
Fonville had 42 hits a year ago, including 19 bunt singles.
That's almost half. Amazing. He bunts it again. Ruffin's got it. The throw to first. Not in time. Anyway, Galarraga dropped it. So a bunt single for Chad Fonville.
Well, he just put it in the place where nobody could throw him out, even if they're playing in closer. They couldn't have gotten him on that one. So here we go. Good bunt. If it's a right-hander, you got a shot, but because Ruffin's a left-hander, he has to make that full spin, and by the time he did, it was too late, and Cat dropped it anyway.
There's Piazza. Delano DeShields the batter. Boy, double play would be huge right here.
Guy in the on deck.
DeShields, a left-handed batter. He is hit rough and well. That's probably why he is batting right here. Ashley and Prince still on that bench for the Dodgers available, but you saw the numbers. Delano DeShields versus Bruce Ruffin. This one gets away from Jayhawk Owens, and that'll take the double play out of order.
Fonville looking a little bit frisky at second base, but Chad, you're 2 runs down. Your run doesn't mean anything, so stop being a dope. Jayhawk just couldn't come up with it. It was low and away.
And he couldn't find it.
Fonville came around second and was dancing all over the place like he was going to go to third. I kind of wish he would have.
A little bit high, 2-0 now to DeShields. Piazza waiting. Unless Fonville somehow gets doubled up on a line drive, Piazza can come up in a game-tying situation, even if DeShields makes an out. DeShields gets on. Piazza would represent the go-ahead run for the Dodgers. 2 balls and a strike to DeShields. Line drive, base hit. They're going to score Fonville. And this will get the Dodgers to within 1, 14-13. Still nobody out. And DeShields continues to hit Bruce Ruffin well.
Well, it's been the first 2 hitters that have set the table for the Dodgers today. Fonville's been on 3 times, make it 4. DeShields has been on 3 times. That's 7 times. And the big boys in the middle lineup are coming up. And Joey Malfitano saying, Mike, you're not bunting. Well, I guess if the Rockies are going to win this one, they're going to have to earn it the old-fashioned way.
The Rockies to win now, they've got to go through the heart of the order with a 1-run lead in the 9th. Piazza 2 for 5 today. Beats that one foul. Good thing about Ruffin's slider here, he gets it down where he just had it. Piazza hits it on the ground to Vinny or Walt, and with the way Piazza is running, could be an easy 2.
We are definitely trying to look at that glass as half full, folks.
Toss to first. What do you think? Does Shields, would he run? I mean, it takes you out of the double play, but boy, then you take the bat out of the hands if he. I don't think you do.
No.
Go for the win on the road. Ruffin acting like he thinks the Shields might be going.
Well, if it makes it, it would be good for the Dodgers. But if he gets thrown out, you know, with the way this guy's swinging the bat and Carroll's swinging the bat in Mondesi, you got to let your players win the game for you here.
Well, he's going. The throw down to second goes into center field. Oh boy, now a fly ball can tie it up.
Well, I was wrong. Dodgers right, and the Shield steals a big base. Jayhawk not close with that throw. Pitch was right down the horn, so it's 0-2 on Piazza. But I think at this point the Rockies, I don't know, they're going to play their infield in. They do not want to allow the tying run.
This is really going into the lion's den now. Without a weapon. The 0-2 pitch hit to Castilla. It freezes the Shields at third. That's one big out.
And I guess if you're Bill Russell, you say, hey, that was a dead double play ball. Stayed out of it by sending to Shields. Vinny, calm and cool, looks to Shields back.
That's one big out. 2 to go. Eric Karros, the batter. Strike one. Well, this would really be dramatic fashion to get a guy at third with nobody out. If Ruffin can get out of this and the Rockies win.
Tough to breathe right now.
Man, it is. Karros has two solo home runs today. Great slider. 2 strikes. Tough to talk.
Fun. Having been here, it's easier to play in these than it is to watch.
He got him. Big strikeout for Ruffin. Wow. Two down, 1 to go.
Slider, great one.
Now the infield can go back. Raul Mondesi. He's come to life today. He'll try to atone for his error in the Rockies' 8th. Ruffin trying to put a little extra mustard on that one. 14-13 Rockies. That's what Mondesi's done today. 2 outs. The Shields at third. Swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt. Good block by Owens. 1-1. This one hit deep to left field. If it stays fair, it's trouble, and that is a home run. Raul Mondesi with a 2-run homer, and the Dodgers have the lead.
Got 2 out of the big 3. Mondesi, I think for the second time in the game, sat on a breaking ball, got it, and he lost it.
Mondesi, who was 1 for 12 coming into this game in the series. 6 runs batted in, 2 home runs and a triple.
Slider down and in, and Mondesi had to be looking for it and hammered it. Again, it was Fonville and DeShields that were the big hurt. Well, the Rockies have got their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up.
Yep, they do.
They'll have to do it against the major leagues or the National League save leader, Todd Worrell. Got to get Blowers out first, though.
Well, the first one to 13 doesn't win. It's 15-14 now. Fouled off the front foot of Blowers.
10 homers in this one, and the last one right to this point has been the crusher.
It's not over yet, folks. Burks, Bichette, and Galarraga coming up for the Rockies in the 9th. Todd Worrell starts to warm up in the Dodgers bullpen. 2 balls and a strike. Yep, the base hit, the bunt single by Fonville.
And the stolen base was huge because if Piazza hits that same ball to Castilla, that's a dead double play.
And then you strike out Karros and we all go home. Winning 3 out of 4.
Well, if is a big word in baseball, and it's always the biggest word here at Coors.
Your big 3, Piazza, Karros, and Mondesi today, Dave, have combined for 10 runs batted in. 10 of the 15.
Well, the Rockies kept them silent the first 2 nights, but the last 2 days they have been huge.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Blowers, but the damage has been done. Mondesi with a 2-run homer. The Dodgers get 3 to take a 1-run lead. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Rockies need 1 to tie, 2 to win it. The Dodgers getting 3 in the top half of the 9th inning to take the lead. Heart of the order coming up for Colorado. Ellis Burks, Dante Bichette, Andres Galarraga. Burks has been unbelievable today. So has Bichette. Burks with 2 walks, a home run, a single, a double, 3 runs batted in. Bichette a home run, 2 singles, no, 2 doubles and a single, and he has 4 runs batted in today. So it is certainly not over here at Coors Field.
Well, again, a key play in the inning. I did not think they would run to Shields and risk having him thrown out. He's been caught 7 times this year, but he ran, stole the base, throwing into center field, and but that isn't what did it. It was just running, staying out of the double play, and then Mondesi. Pretty good guess. I think he guessed on Darren Holmes when he hit that triple because he hit a low slider. And I don't know. I thought Ruffin threw a fairly good slider there. Maybe it wasn't quite as sharp downward breaking, but it wasn't bad. But I think when a hitter looks for a pitch and gets it, sometimes they can do some hammering.
This is the 3rd time we've seen Worrell in this series. I wonder if he's a little arm weary. Going for his 23rd save. He leads the National League, as you saw. So Ellis Burks. One run is not exactly a comfortable lead at Coors Field, especially with these guys coming up.
Well, the good thing about this bottom of the 9th is going to be the best against the best. And Worrell's been the best closer this year, and the Rockies have got some hitters coming up who have been on fire.
Strike 1 at the knees.
Same way in that top half of the inning. It was the Rockies' best, Bruce Ruffin, and he got 2/3 of the way through, but it was the bunt by Fonville and the hit by DeShields that eventually allowed Mondesi to get to the plate.
I really thought after getting both Piazza and Karros that it was going to be one of those storybook finishes for the Rockies. Still might be, but in a different fashion. The 1-1 pitch is popped up, foul territory, heading for the seats. And not close enough. Karros makes the play. Burks is retired for the first time today. That's not a case where the fans could go out and get in the way. That ball was not back into the stands. If the fans did get in the way there, the umpire could have easily called interference and Burks would have been out anyway. So if you're sitting at home thinking, come on fans, reach over there and interfere with the player, the umpire could call that and it would have been enough. It's back in the seats. That's a different story. It's fair game. Here's Bichette. Down too low.
Well, the Rockies have stolen 10 bases, but right now the biggest one has been by DeShields.
Yeah. That's right. There's 2 stolen bases for the Dodgers. Bichette, 2-run homer in the 3rd, 1 scoring single in the 4th. An RBI double in the 7th, another double in the 6th. That one almost hit him. 2-0.
Now the fans booing, but trust me, no way Todd Worrell wants to bring the winning run to the plate. He's trying to pitch Dante in. Cloud came over. It's been sunny all day.
Bichette reaching out and poking it foul into the seats. Guy made a catch up with the 3rd deck on that one with his hand. 2 balls and a strike to Bichette. 15-14 Dodgers. Up into the crowd. 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Worrell's made 2 good pitches on Bichette. Behind 2-0, he's had him in the outer part, not in the sweet spot.
Breaking ball broke Bichette's timing down. Still 2-2 though. Bichette able to foul it off.
Well, one of the pitches Worrell has come up with over the last year is a curveball. He has always been a fastball, hard slider pitcher. And even though he's been overpowering, we talk about throwing that 1 speed, but the curveball has allowed hitters not to sit gear in all the time on that 1 hard speed.
Bichette hits this one high and deep to right field. Going over into the corner is Mondesi. It's a foul ball. Bichette gave that one a ride with 2 strikes. Didn't have the distance. If it stays fair, I don't know. In that corner, it's kind of funny down there. 45-degree angle in that corner. It could have been trouble. Do it again though. 2-2, 1 out, nobody on. Rockies need 1 to tie.
Piazza and Worrell discussing matters. Sometimes the best way to know what a pitcher wants to throw is go out and have a chat with him.
Again, the 2-2 pitch.
Dante fouled off a tough pitch there.
He really did. That's the mark of a great hitter, Dave. A guy that can foul off a pitcher's pitch and wait for the mistake and drill that.
Worrell really in this at bat has not given Dante a fat pitch yet, nor did he to Ellis Burks. So he's been on the corners.
Bichette taking just a moment to think through the sequence. And the 2-2 pitch. It's foul.
The ball hit Bichette in the batter's box, and Paul Runge is calling it foul. First base umpire had a better view on that, and Jerry Lane didn't. But Paul Runge immediately saw that ball come up and hit Bichette while he was still not totally out of the batter's box. So that makes it a foul ball. If Bichette's out of the batter's box and Dante is out. Take a look. One step, hit him right on the bill of the cap. He was not out of the batter's box.
That front foot had exited, and he would be out there.
Again, Worrell is just making quality pitch after quality pitch, and Dante is battling.
He is. 2-2 pitch. He tried to get him inside. Now it's 3-2. Well, this is quite a battle.
Well, as we said, the top of the ninth was the Rockies' best against the Dodgers' best. Bottom, the same thing. Worrell is their closer, and the Rockies have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters, and they'd also love to get Vinny up in the inning.
Three-two pitch. Oh, Bichette had one that he was looking for and got a piece of it, found it straight back.
Well, that was still even a little out. Dante was trying to go right center. I don't know if it was high for ball 4, but too close to take. Now you can't take that pitch. It was still outer third.
Yeah, he hadn't seen anything in the middle.
Worrell's saying, if you're going to beat me, you got to do it to right field. He's only he came in twice, early in the count and then 2-2.
Again, the 3-2 pitch. This one ripped to left field. He does it again with 2 strikes, folks. And it gives Galarraga a chance to win it.
I'll tell you what, you look up quality at bat in the dictionary, and that at bat by Dante Bichette is as good as you're ever going to see. Worrell made great pitches against him. Finally, he got a mistake inside. Mercy, what a good at bat by Dante.
That's unbelievable. That's a hitting clinic right there, folks. A hitting clinic. Padres have polished off the Giants 7-4. So for the Rockies to stay within a game and a half of the lead, we've got to pull this one out. Galarraga looking for his first hit today. High pop up on the infield. 2 gone.
Kind of an amazing series. Cat started out so hot. The Dodger hitters started out so cold, but in 2 days it turned around. All of a sudden the Dodger guys are hot, and Galarraga has an 0 for 5 today with a walk.
Leaves it up to Vinny. Vinny has a solo home run today. Also a single. Castilla with an 11-game hitting streak. Mondesi did it with 2 outs. Why can't Castilla? There goes Bichette, and a base hit up the middle. Bichette will take third. So a base hit by Vinny Castilla. Runners at the corners. He is the winning run. Bichette is the tying run.
Jeff Reed will pinch hit for Jayhawk Owens. Well, Vinny got a hit. Dante was stealing on the play. And right now, Billy Russell coming out. Looking as Vinny hits it up the middle, and Dante circles around to third. Now you got Quentin McCracken on deck. Jeff Reed. I don't think Bill Russell would walk Reed intentionally to put the winning run down at second, although Ray Knight did do it earlier this year.
So a single by Bichette, an out later, a single by Castilla. The Rockies are not going down without a fight.
Yeah, this is 4 hours and 15 minutes old, but the Rockies have a couple of great batting cages underneath. So I'm sure Reed, like Vanderwall, has had a lot of cuts in there. And that was something Bob Gebhardt insisted upon when this stadium was being built. So it's not as though he's been sitting there cold for 4 hours and 15 minutes.
A base hit would tie it. Strike one to Reed. Reed with a double last night. He has 7 home runs this year. More than any other year. Inside, a ball and a strike.
You know, that's where they've tried to go after Jeff in the series is in, and I'm sure that's what Russell had to say.
Piazza setting up away, and Gagne can't come up with it. We're tied again. Wow! The pinch hitters have come through today. Vanderwall with a 2-run homer, and Reed with a clutch single.
This game, this team, this ballpark leaves you absolutely breathless. When you come here, if you want to be entertained, this is the spot to be.
15-15, 9th inning. McCracken now with a chance to win it. Castillo represents the winning run at second base. Inside, ball one.
You know, Vinny's going to have to get a little better lead here. The outfield arms of Hollingsworth and Mondesi are terrific, and they're not playing McCracken very deep because Quinton doesn't have much power. Vinny, if McCracken gets a hit, he has got to lug home the mail here.
He'll be off with contact with 2 outs. On the ground, that's by Caros. Here comes Vinny around third. He's going to score. The Rockies win. Mark down June 30th on your calendar. The Rockies never say die. They score both runs in the 9th with 2 outs and win it 16-15. This game a benchmark to the season for 1996. Wow. What a game.